then, from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York, so long, everybody. You've been listening to the Brewers Radio Network. Whoa, it's our Eastern Division champion New York Yankees in Game 2 of tonight's twi-night doubleheader. Hello again, everyone. Bob Uecker along with Jim Powell back with you once again as the Yankees are after a sweep and the Brewers will try to win to gain a split. A pair of left-handers work Game 2. Scott Carl for Milwaukee and Kenny Rogers for New York. The Yankees, winners of the opener by a score of 19-2. If you weren't with us to suffer through it, they won it big time. Back with more, including the starting lineups after this on the Brewers Radio Network. It's time for the starting lineups. Here's Jim Powell.
All right, thank you, Bob. Leading it off for the Brewers, center fielder Gerald Williams. Batting second and playing third base is Jeff Cirillo. Hitting third, first baseman David Nilsson. In the cleanup spot, the DH, John Jahab. Hitting fifth in left field, Mark Newfield. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Matt Mieske. Hitting seventh for the Brewers, the second sacker, Mark Loretta. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Jose Valentin. And in the 9 spot is the catcher, Mike Matheny. Again, Phil Garner's starting lineup for Game 2, Williams, Cirillo, and Nilsson, Jaha, Newfield, and Mieske, Loretta, Valentin, and Matheny. Now for the Yanks, a decidedly different-looking lineup here in Game 2 with Joe Torre substituting liberally here with the American League East now clinched. Leading it off is the shortstop, Luis Sojo. Batting second is the DH, Jim Leyritz. Hitting third, the right fielder, Darryl Strawberry. The cleanup man is the first baseman, Cecil Fielder. Batting fifth and playing third base, Charlie Hayes. Hitting sixth in center field, Ruben Rivera. Batting seventh and catching, Jorge Posada. Hitting eighth in left field, Mike Aldrete. And batting ninth for the Yanks is the second baseman, Andy Fox. Again, Joe Torre starting lineup for Game 2. Sojo, Leyritz, and Strawberry. Fielder, Hayes, and Rivera. Posada, Aldrete, and Fox. And a pair of lefties on the mound. Carl for Milwaukee. Rogers for New York. We'll be back with more at Yankee Stadium after this on the Brewers Radio Network.
Before we continue from New York, 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Brewers Radio Network.
WRLO, Antigo, Crandon, Rhinelander, the bankroll.
And it's the New York Yankees, Eastern Division champions, all set to go here in the start of Game 2, and they'll be saluted with a standing ovation once again by this gathering here in the Bronx. Our congratulations to Joe Torre, a good friend, a former teammate, roommate, longtime friend. And we wish, or I do anyway, Joe Torre and the Yankees the best as they continue their trek toward the World's Championship. They will probably meet the Texas Rangers here in New York starting on Tuesday. Anyway, back with the start of tonight's game after this on the Brewers Radio Network.
To start Game 2 here at Yankee Stadium, and for the play-by-play story, once again, here's Bob Uecker.
Hi, Jim, and the leadoff batter in Game 2 for the Brewers is Gerald Williams, and we are underway now. First offering is good for a strike, and it's 0-1. Williams 0 for 2 in the opener, and the next offering from Kenny Rogers is outside for a ball. is the windup and the 1-1 pitch. A little bit low and outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. The Yankees winners 19-2 in Game 1. The pitch by Rogers is a check swing pop-up. Easy play for Luis Sojo to retire Gerald Williams.
Number 26, Jeff Cirillo.
Jeff Cirillo is the batter now.
Number 26.
One man out. Cirillo took the collar in Game 1. Kenny Rogers has 111, lost 8. Here's the first offering, outside for a ball. Rogers, the former Texas Ranger left-hander, had a so-so year for the Yankees, delivers down low. Signed by New York to a huge contract as a starting pitcher. Put in the bullpen by Joe Torre earlier in the year. The pitch, that's a strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Then back to the starting rotation, then back to the bullpen, now as a starter again. I don't think Kenny Rogers has pitched as well as the Yankees had hoped for, but swing and a miss. He's part of this championship club. That's all that counts. The Sprite home run inning tonight in Game 2, the 7th, 550 an hour jackpot. 2-2 on Jeff Cirillo. Here is the pitch. Swung on and rolled foul up along third. One man out. There are still folks making their way into the stadium. It's not going to be a sellout by any means, but a very nice crowd here in New York. The pitch hit foul by Cirillo to the upper deck. Working from the windup. Here is the pitch. Outside a ball. He shot the corner and missed. New sign now from Jorge Posada, who's doing the catching in Game 2. The pitch. Cirillo sends one back through the middle. That's a base hit. Cirillo with his first hit tonight in the doubleheader. And it brings up David Nilsson, who is playing at first base in Game 2. John Jaha will be the DH. Nilsson at .331. He has 17 home runs and has driven in 82. From the stretch, the left-hander Rogers deals, and he's in and over with a strike. Nothing and one. Here is a throw to first, getting by Cecil Fielder, and into second goes Jeff Cirillo. That was a bit of an errant throw by Rogers, but a ball I think Cecil Fielder probably should have caught. They have charged Rogers with the error. But I think Cecil Fielder probably should have made that play. Anyway, it's one strike on Nilsson, and the next pitch is a curveball banged toward right center, grabbed by Andy Fox, but he throws late. He made a backhanded play on that ball, bobbled it, grabbed it out of midair with his bare hand and got off a throw, but late. That ball hit him on the heel of the glove, but he made a heck of a nice play to recover, threw on one hop, but late. Cirillo winds up at third. Nilsson has his second hit in the doubleheader, and here's John Jaha. He hit his 34th home run in the opener. Johnny's had a big year. 117 RBIs, hitting .301. The pitch by Rogers is a little bit low, ball one. Jimmy McKeon is calling balls and strikes in game 2. Ted Hendry working at first. Johnny Hirschbeck is out at second. And Jim Joyce is working at third. Here's the pitch, 2-0 as Rogers missed again. Two balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Jaha rolls one up along first, past Rogers. Cecil Fielder has it, flips to Rogers covering. They retired Jaha. On the play, Cirillo scores, and the Brewers have the lead. Jaha gets RBI number 118 for the year. And here is Mark Newfield. Fans out in right field. Saluting one of their heroes, Darryl Strawberry, who is in the game in right field, swinging a foul by Newfield. He was the DH in game 1. One strike. Well, we'll be hearing screaming and hollering all night long tonight after the Yankees won the opener. Here's a swing and a foul. It is 0-2. A run on 2 hits here in the opening inning for the Crew. They are hollering for Darryl. Darryl, you may be able to hear that. Newfield fights off a fastball and fouled it back. These bleacherites in Yankee Stadium are very loud and boisterous. Every once in a while they have a little band out there, a little trio, a little duo, a little quartet. If it makes music, they'll play it. Outside corner, a strike called, and Newfield is gone. Brewers get 1 run on 2 hits. Leave one stranded. There was an error. After 1/2 inning of play, it is Milwaukee 1 with New York coming up.
They're going fast, and now's the time to catch them. It's the all-new VMAX 700SX. It's super light in weight with razor-edged handling, new front and rear suspensions, and a new hydraulic brake. Plus the industry's first 3-year unlimited mileage warranty. The all-new powerful VMAX 700SX. Triple your fun and get your all-new VMAX 700SX at Antigo Yamaha Highway 45 Antigo. Order early, order fast. These babies won't last. Antigo Yamaha is the place. Mike's Service Center in Antigo has the solution to this. It's Mike's famous $26.95 tune-up. Starting at $26.95, Mike's Service Center can tune up a 4-cylinder engine with electronic ignition. That means your car will sound like this. instead of this. And you'd rather have this, wouldn't you? Come to Mike's Service Center on Highway 45 Attigo, where they always pump your gas. Call 623-3294. Tomahawk Heavy Duty Truck Parts is proud to announce their new rebuilding shop will open soon.
The Brewers Radio Network station serving Superior's 970 KXTP. See what Superior has in store for you. Learn about Superior's history at the SS Meteor Museum. Experience Lake Superior and one of the Vista Harbor cruises. And if you like the outdoors, you'll enjoy mountain biking and inline skating on the Tri-County Corridor. For more information about Superior, call 1-800-942-5313 and a strike on Luis Sojo leading off in the Yankee half of the first. Here's the next pitch. Banged right back to Carl. He has it and throws him out one away. Here is Jim Leyritz. He did not play in game one.
Jim Leyritz.
Scotty Carl tonight trying to win his 14th game of the year. Jim Leyritz with 7 home runs, 40 batted in, batting .266. Here's another guy that has done a pretty good job for the Yankees all around. He can play on the infield. He's done some work in the outfield. He has been used mainly as a catcher. And he was not a catcher when he came to the big leagues. He was an infielder. He was a third baseman. 2-0 as Carl missed downstairs. But he's come up with some big base hits for the Yankees, some big plays. And the pitch. Check, swing, strike. 2-1 now. Scott Carl deals again, and Leyritz had a big cut and missed a change of pace. Two balls and 2 strikes on the Yankee designated hitter in the pitch. That's the ball outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here is the pitch. Low and outside, and he walks Jim Leyritz. That's the 71st walk issued by Carl this year. And it brings up Darryl Strawberry. .267, 10 home runs, 34 driven in. Newfield, Williams, and Mieske. That's the Brewer outfield in game 2. Here's a strike on Strawberry. Darryl thought that pitch may have been a little bit low. 0-1. And the pitch by Carl is lined towards left field. It'll drop for a base hit. Strawberry, who has become a favorite here in the Bronx, the Yankees. Very popular on the other side of New York with the Mets. Brought back here by George Steinbrenner after a number of personal problems. And has become a favorite with the Yankee fans for whatever reason. And had that big of a year, 267. That's not like the old Darryl Strawberry. Anyway, here's Cecil Fielder. 1 ball and no strikes. Cecil Fielder has 38 home runs. 12 have come as a Yankee. He He has 116 runs batted in, and he's batting .247. Carl running, and the pitch to Cecil Fielder is hit foul to the second deck here at Yankee Stadium. Carl in his last outing got shelled by Detroit. 10-1, the Brewers lost that game. Defense committed a couple of early errors behind him. The pitch, strike two on Fielder. That accounted for 5 unearned runs as he went on to lose. 10-1. He's 2-2 lifetime against New York. That covers 5 games, all as a starter. Here's the pitch in the dirt and knocked down by Mike Matheny. Ball 2 and strike 2. Jimmy Leyritz is out at second. At first base, it's Darryl Strawberry. And the Brewers have the lead at 1-0. Cubs 2, Cincinnati nothing in the third. Florida 1 and Atlanta nothing. That game in the sixth. Here's the pitch. Fouled again by Fielder up along the first base side. The St. Louis Cardinals, who clinched the Central Division last night, are leading Pittsburgh 5-4 in the fourth inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. This one is hit in the air to center. Routine play for Williams. Easy catch. Cecil Fielder is retired, and here is Charlie Hayes in his second go-around with the Yankees.
13, number 33.
Charlie Hayes with a couple of home runs. 10 runs batted in. Here's the pitch to him. A swing and a bouncer, foul up along third. One strike, 2 outs. Scott Carl is running, and here it is. That's a little bit high, and it's even. 1-1. Hayes acquired by the Yankees from the Pittsburgh Pirates for a player to be named later. He has been named. Chris Korn, a right-handed minor league pitcher. Carl turns but makes no throw to second. Charlie Hayes was signed as a free agent by the Pirates back in December of '95. Hit .248. Here's a fastball outside. Hit .248 for the Pirates. Appeared in 128 games. Hit 10 home runs and drove in 62. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Scott Carl threw a change of pace in the dirt, and Charlie Hayes chased it. Two and two. Brewers lead 1-0 in game 2 as Scott Carl sets. Here's the pitch. Fouled by Hayes. Carl tried to sneak a fastball by him, and Hayes had a nice cut and fouled it. Ball 2 and strike 2. White Sox 1, Royals nothing in the second. Toronto beat Detroit today, 13-11. Here's the pitch. A swing and a soft pop fly, short right, dropping for a base hit. This game is going to be tied as Leyritz scores. Charlie Hayes, a little pop fly single, kind of a half swing job. Carl walked Jim Leyritz, and he scored. The ball fell in short right field, where it was retrieved by David Nilsson. And it brings up Ruben Rivera. He had 3 hits in the opener. Came on to play for Paul O'Neill in right. Had hits his 3 times up. Takes a fastball inside. 1 ball and no strikes now on Ruben Rivera. Another youngster for the Yankees who they feel is destined for stardom here. The pitch, swing and a miss. This guy's got a good bat. Rivera, a couple of days ago, pinch ran for Paul O'Neill in the 8th inning. That was in Monday's loss to Boston. The pitch, swinging a bouncer to third, off of Cirillo, and picked by Valentin, who's thrown to second late. And that is going to be an error. Boy, on a tough chance. That was a tough chance. Baby had some sting on it and an in-between hop. Bounced away from Cirillo. Valentin grabbed it through to second, but late there. It's an error. Runners are at first and second now, and Jorge Posada, the catcher, is the batter. He's a switch hitter. Pitch by Carl, down low and inside for a ball. Here's the pitch. Swinging a bouncer, hit near second. Valentin has it. There's the flip to Mark Loretta covering at second. And the inning is over. The Yankees get a run to tie the score on a couple of hits, 1 error and 2 left. And at the end of 1. I beg your pardon, at the end of 1, the Yankees have the lead. It's New York 2 and Milwaukee 1.
So, Bob, you ready?
You betcha.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
No,
13,
Bob
14,
is
15,
not
16,
reading
17,
the
18,
odds
20,
for a
21,
new Wisconsin lottery game. He is, however, trying to count up to 1 million.
Instead, maybe I'll try by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,
You
60,
see, the
70,
Wisconsin
80,
lottery
90,
has a new game called Daily Millions, where you choose 6 numbers for a chance to win $1 million, all in cash, all at once.
Oh, this is taking too long. I'll try it by 100. Yes, 100, 200, 300,
Think about
400,
it.
500,
$1 million all at once. That's a big number.
1100, 1200.
Bob?
Hold on, I'm almost
Bob.
there. What?
Hey, we're almost done. There's no time to count that high.
Oh, but I've only got 998,900 numbers left to count.
That's a lot, Bob.
Oh, but it's fun.
I'll tell you what. Instead, why don't you tell the folks about the odds of winning?
Oh, the odds. Yeah. Daily Millions. The odds of winning $2, 1 in 12, $5, 1 in 99, $100, 1 in 1,912, $5,000, 1 in 81,237, and $1 million, 1 in 9,261,000. All prizes equal 45.1% of sales.
What a Major League dreams come true at the 1997 Brewers Fantasy Camp in Chandler, Arizona, February 9th through the 16th with your favorite former Brewers. Call 1-800-336-CAMP for details.
It's 2-1 New York as the Brewers come to bat in the second. One of the runs unearned against Scott Carl. Matt Mieske swings and misses at Kenny Rogers' first offering. Loretta to follow, and then Jose Valentin. Hits are even 2 apiece. Each club has committed an error. Here is the pitch. Down low. Ball 1, strike 1. Ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss again. Rogers throwing off speed. Ball 1 and strike 2. Kenny Rogers trying to win his 12th. Pitch, a swing and a drive to left. This ball is going to wind up in the seats and out of play. One and 2 on Matt Mieske. Mark Loretta due to follow. Here comes Rogers. Curveball struck him out swinging. That's the second strikeout for Rogers, and here is Mark Loretta. That was a low breaking ball, and Mieske swung right over the top. Loretta in there now. He has homered once, driven in 12. Takes a strike, 0-1. No game tomorrow. The Brewers will take the day off. Fly to Detroit tonight and then open up on Friday for their final series of the year. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit to a diving stab by Cecil Fielder. And the throw to Rogers covering retires Mark Loretta. We were talking earlier about Cecil Fielder being a liability out there as a defensive player. He made a diving, thunderous diving. Yankee dugout smiling at that play by Cecil.
Seismologists are scrambling to their machines to recalibrate.
Earthquake in New York? No way. Here's the pitch. Swinging a bouncer foul. 1-1. Cecil Fielder is a very big man. He's huge. Tremendous power. Time called momentarily. A baseball laying in foul territory down the left field line. Being retrieved out there by Jim Joyce. Now we're set to go. 1-1 to Valentin. Here's the pitch. Strike 2, says Jimmy McKeon. Ball 1 and strike 2. Here's the pitch. Struck him out swinging. And the inning is over. 3 up and 3 down after an inning and a half. It's 2-1 Yankees.
Basic or deluxe? Now Parsons of Anago Service Department is giving you your choice in oil changes. The basic oil change includes up to 5 quarts of oil, lube, and filter for $18.95. For just $3 more, you get all of the above plus a lube and check of the front suspension, steering and transmission linkage, hood and door hinges, and a complimentary hand wash and vacuum and more. The service department at Parsons, it's a whole new line of insurance protection for your vehicle. GM Good Wrench Service. They want your business.
Herb Sales and Service in Tomahawk wants to make sure nobody spends the winter indoors. Visit their showroom today. An exciting variety of 97 Polaris snowmobiles will invite you to hit the trails ASAP. They've got them all, from the Polaris Indy Lights to the incredible new Indy Ultra SPX. Purchase your new Polaris from Herb Sales and Service, Business Highway 51 Tomahawk by September 30th and receive $400 in free Polaris merchandise.
Sales and service with grown-up girls and boys. Get all their wonderful toys.
Attention golfers, hockey players, and rollerbladers. Goal Line Golf and Hockey has many of the items you need on sale. Select Greg Norman shirts are 50% off. Select name brand golf clubs are 50% off. Closeout models of rollerblades are 20% off. And if you're a golfer in need of new shoes, Goal Line Golf is the place. 30% off select men's and women's golf shoes. Before you head onto the course, the blacktop, or the ice, head into Goal Line Golf and Hockey, located on Grand Avenue, Schofield.
A sparkling sun over a crystal clear lake, a gentle breeze wafting over your own personal deck, workout facilities, pool, huge fireplace. Sound good? It can be yours. Fuller interval ownership. Call the Beacons of Minocqua and live your dream.
Scott Carl trailing by a score of 2-1. All set to face the Yankees in the second inning. And Mike Aldretti, who is playing in left field in Game 2, will lead off, followed by Andy Fox. And then back to the top of the order in Luis Sojo. Cardinals in the fifth inning still lead Pittsburgh 5-4. They're the Central Division champions. Atlanta owns the East. Here is Aldretti in there, and the pitch to him is a strike from Carl. 0-1. Here's the pitch, just a bit outside, and it's 1-1. The Dodgers lead the West by a game and a half over San Diego. The pitch, 2-1 as he missed down low. The Padres have the wild card lead by a game and a half over Montreal. Here's the 2-1. This one is hit down the left side and out of play. Yeah, it's the Padres by a game and a half, then Montreal, and from there on, elimination time. Mike Aldretti with 5 home runs and 17 runs batted in. Batting .215. Here's the pitch to him. A little bit low from Scott Carl. Here's the next offering, and it's hit foul up along first. On Mike Aldretti. Leading off in the second, the pitch. Struck him out swinging. Scott Carl gets his first strikeout and now faces Andy Fox playing at second base. First offering on Fox, and it's down low for a ball. Baltimore is leading Boston 3-2 in the fourth inning. Playing at Fenway Park. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. Seattle has won their game 11-2 over California. Texas plays in Oakland. The pitch is down low. Kansas City is leading Chicago 2-1 in the second inning. That game being played at Comiskey Park. Here is the pitch. Swinging a broken back ground ball to first. David Nilsson has an easy chance. That takes care of Andy Fox, and the batter is going to be Luis Sojo.
Luis Sojo.
The only thing that remains is Baltimore and Seattle. Texas should win the West. They're up by 3. Here's a swing and a drive in the left center and very deep. Williams back, and he'll catch it to end the inning. 3 up and 3 down at the end of 2. It's 2-1. New York. To the third we go. Here's Jim Powell.
All right, thank you, Bob. Mike Matheny leads it off for the Brewers, and the first pitch from Rogers is a strike. Matheny, then Williams, then Cirillo do up here in the Brewers' third. Milwaukee trailing by a run. Rogers kicks and delivers, swinging a ground ball left side through the hole for a base hit. Matheny's aboard with a leadoff single here in the third. And it'll bring up Gerald Williams, who popped a short on a half swing his first time. Well, you want to try and get the Yankees early if you can. Yeah, mighty tough to beat in close games late. Statistically speaking, a slow-starting ball club. They generally are outscored in the first couple of innings and really take it to you in the last couple. The pitch to Williams, swing and a miss at a curveball. New York has the best record in Major League Baseball in one-run decisions. 25-15, including 16-5 here at Yankee Stadium. Ball downstairs. 1-1 on Gerald Williams. He's been well received by the home folks here at Yankee Stadium. Popular player here with New York. Gerald Williams is a tremendous athlete, and a lot of people here in the Big Apple think the Yankees wrongly never gave him a full chance. Swinging a foul away. And with all the talk about the Yankees wanting the trade rescinded and Wickman and Williams to return to the pinstripes and Listash and Bonus, Graham Lloyd to go back to Milwaukee, Williams would be the guy that probably would be most against that of all the players. 1-2 pitch, ground ball hit toward short. Sojo up, underhands to Fox, one on to first late. Gerald Williams can really motor, and he beats the relay by Andy Fox. Fielder's choice. Williams now the runner at first. 1 out, and it brings up Cirillo. Because Williams will never get a chance here in New York. I mean, when you turn 30 and you came up with an organization and they still haven't installed you in the outfield and said play every day, they're never going to let you play. And the Brewers are certainly giving him that opportunity to prove he's an everyday ball player. Cirillo singled and scored the lone Brewer run back of the first. Throw to first by Rogers, not in time. Though Williams did take an extra step towards second when Rogers raised that right leg. But it was just a lob toss to first, so he had plenty of time to recover and get back. Held on by massive Cecil Fielder. Rogers again to first. Quicker throw, but Williams was looking for it, and he's back in easily. Gerald stole a base in game 1. He's got good speed. 9 swipes this year. But he's not all that efficient a base stealer. In fact, he's been thrown out half the time. That's not good. Another throw to first. Williams again wasn't sure if Rogers was coming to first or to home. He was slow getting back to first and was almost tagged out. Witt back in standing. So he is clearly baffled by Rogers' move. Rogers has picked off a half dozen base runners this year. The throw, or the pitch rather, is a strike on the outside corner. Rogers went with the slide step that time. Now he's done what you need to do to shut down a running game, get out in front. 0-1 the count. Yanks up 2-1, top 3. They won the opener 19-2. Throw to first again Gerald's back. New York is not only dominant in 1-run games, but in 2-run games. They're 19-12. That's pretty good. And they owe it all to that bullpen and strong defense. Again, a throw to first. Again, Gerald looked confused, but got back. To like this Yankee team in terms of its makeup for the postseason. They may flop in the first round. Throw to first again. Again, Gerald's back. Again, he broke the wrong way before returning to the bag. Rogers has the good move, but he doesn't release the baseball all that quickly, and Gerald's been able to recover each time. Again, the southpaw sets. Again, he goes to first. Again, Gerald's back standing. Now Rogers hearing some boo birds from his own fans here at Yankee Stadium. New York, while not an overpowering offensive team, has plenty of weapons offensively. They've got a complementary group of hitters. 0-1 pitch, low and outside, and Joe Torre's as good a strategic manager as there is around. He's got a useful roster 1 through 25. In fact, 1 through about 35. They're going to have some trouble paring down the roster for the postseason, particularly on that pitching staff. There's talk of Doc Gooden not being on the postseason pitching staff, although I suspect he'll be there. Again, a throw to first. Again, Gerald Williams back. Talk that Graham Lloyd will not be on the postseason roster. Ricky Bonas, Dale Polley, Billy Brewer. In fact, it's very uncertain as to what kind of left-handers Joe Torre will retain for the postseason in the bullpen. The pitch. Swinging a drive to right. On the run, Strawberry makes a running grab, and Williams returns to first. Darrell didn't have a real good beat on that ball. He caught it about knee-high off to the side. Ball tailing into him as it was hit off the end of the bat by the right-hand hitter. Cirillo hit it well, but out to right. 2 gone. Williams still at first, and now David Nilsson will be the batter. Millie with an infield single his first time. Their starter tonight, Kenny Rogers, figures to be in the bullpen for New York in the postseason. Throw to first, not in time. In fact, when you look at the way the pitching staff is comprised for New York, you would say that this team is built better for the postseason than it was even for the regular season. And it was built pretty well for the regular season, 90 wins. The pitch. Nilsson reaches out, pokes one to center, coming on Rivera, diving, can't make the play. Williams flies around second. He's around third. He breaks for home. They've got him hung up. Throw to the plate. Now they're running him back toward third. The flip by Posada, and he's out at third. Charlie Hayes with a tag. I don't know what Gerald was doing. He was held up by Bando, came around third, stopped, started again, went halfway, stopped again, and the Yankees, sure enough, got him in a rundown, predictably. 8-4-2-5 on the putout. Inning over. No runs, one hit, make it 2 hits, and 1 left. At the end of 2.5, it's New York 2 and Milwaukee 1.
Tired of the old leaky tent but love to camp in the great outdoors? Midwest RV and Homes would like to invite you to their Hitch a Trailer and Pitch the Tent sale. See the 1996 Coleman Destiny Series folding trailers. They're lightweight and easy to tow. You can hitch up to a Coleman Tow or Laredo folding trailer starting at the low price of $32.95. Stop by today at Midwest RV and Homes for a no-obligation demonstration. That's Midwest RV and Homes at the junction of 29 East and J, where there's a whole lot of hitching and pitching going on.
Midwest RV and Homes. When all you need is service, when all you need is savings, All Cars got it all. Not just auto parts, all kinds of auto parts. We're the one to call. All right, it's all your car needs. All Car Auto Center.
Hey, sportsmen, it's that time of year. Time to team up with Polaris and Rhinelander Hazelhurst Marine. From hard work to the big hunt, Rhinelander has the Polaris ATV that's just right for you. Right now, choose your 96 Polaris ATV and receive $200 in clothing and accessories. Choose the 1996 Polaris Explorer 300, Express 300, Sportsman 4x4, and Magnum 4x4 models and receive a total of $400 in clothing and accessories. Or choose no interest, no payments for 90 days. ATVs can be hazardous to operate. Adult machines only 18 and older. Be sure to get training. So come in and get on a new 96 Polaris ATV today from Rhinelander Hazelhurst Marine right on Highway 51.
Beautiful Hardy mums in a rainbow of colors are available now at Redmond's Nursery. Hardy plants full of buds in 6.5-inch pots ready for your yard or home. Only 3 for $10 at Redmond's Nursery, Highway 8 Tomahawk.
Along with our producer engineer, Kent Summerfield, who's done a great job all year, putting in the long hours today, working both ends of the doubleheader. And along with the longtime voice Bob Uecker, Jim Powell back with you at Yankee Stadium in New York. Scott Carl back to work. Layritz, Strawberry, and Fielder due up. And his first pitch is outside for a ball. My partner Bob Uecker, probably, when you come to a place like New York, it's always interesting to see. Swinging a ground ball foul, third base side. I know the people in Wisconsin take it for granted that Bob Uecker is a familiar face and voice to baseball fans and non-fans alike. You come to a place like New York, that's where you really find out whether you're universally popular or not. 1-1 pitch in the dirt, 2-1. Here in New York, the bus pulls up right outside Yankee Stadium, and all of the players and staff unload. And there's a big crowd here in New York, much bigger than there is at any other stadium in Major League Baseball, at least in the American League. Here's the 2-1 from Carl. Layritz takes low, 3-1. And without fail, every time the Brewers come in here, the one person that draws all of the attention of the crowd swinging a foul back is Bob Uecker. And my partner generally obliges. He'll get off the bus and get out, get down on all hands and knees, even with his coat and tie on, kiss the ground. Fans go wild. They love him here. Here's the payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. Layritz draws a leadoff walk. He has walked for the second time in the game. And here comes Strawberry. Those are the only 2 walks that Carl has issued. But it's always interesting. Usually it's the players, of course, that draw the attention. And the Brewers are a fairly nondescript bunch. There are no superstars on this Brewer ball club at this point. No household names. I guess Ben McDonald would be amongst the most famous names on the Brewers team. David Nilsson. The pitch. outside for a ball. But most of the Brewers' young players are still emerging stars like Valentin, Cirillo, Jaha. But everybody knows Uecker. It's a big crowd out there, too. 1-0 pitch. Missed inside, 2-0. It's the same gate where the Yankee players come in, and they have to march right through the crowd. Of course, they have a blockade there set up by the police to cordon off a corridor that the players can pass through without having to actually talk to the fans. There's a drive to deep center, way back. Williams at the wall. It's gone. Strawberry with a 2-run homer. And it makes it 4-1 New York. And the party continues at Yankee Stadium. They clinched in the first game, and now they've got 3 more hours to celebrate. In some ways, it's worked out perfectly for New York to be able to play the doubleheader. Cecil stands in. The Brewers have the shift on, and the first pitch is a strike. 3 infielders to the third base side of second. Not a bad pitch by Carl. Swinging a foul away right at home plate by Fielder. 0-2 the count. It was down, but it was in, and Strawberry could reach it. With Joe Torre having taken most of the veterans out here in Game 2, Strawberry and Fielder the most recognizable names in the lineup, and Strawberry in particular has been the focus of all the fans' attention. There's a fly ball down the right field line. That's trouble. It drops in for a hit. Kicks toward the corner. Cecil Fielder will stand at second with a double. Just a bloop down the right field line. Looked like a routine fly ball when it left the bat, but it kept slicing toward the corner. Of course, the Brewers were playing him to pull, so it was able to drop in about 8 feet off the line. Matt Mieske couldn't get there. 4:30 on the tail of the tape on the Strawberry home run to dead center. 4-1 New York. Bottom of the third. Runner at second. Still nobody out, and here comes Charlie Hayes. The set by Carl and the pitch. Swinging a line drive, left field line. That is a fair ball, rolling down into the corner, and it's going to rattle around down there, and a fan grabs it, leaning over the railing. It'll be a ground rule double. Yankees general manager Bob Watson in the booth just to our left, all by himself in there, figuratively and literally, I'm afraid. He is enjoying his night tonight, standing and applauding his troops as they've opened up a 5-1 lead here in the bottom of the third. Don Rowe, the Brewers pitching coach, out to the mound to try and settle down Scott Carl. Comes in from first to join the discussion along with Mike Matheny, the catcher. Ruben Rivera is the scheduled hitter. That's turned out pretty well for New York, whether they win this game or not. And hopefully from the Brewers standpoint, Milwaukee will rally back here and at least put some damper on this party. But to clinch in the opener and now have 3 hours in a packed house of baseball fans just in euphoria. First division title for New York in 15 years. Last time they won a division title, it came also at the expense of the Brewers. You may recall back in '81, the strike year where they had the split season. Won the playoff from Milwaukee for the American League East title. Hot shot, just fouled on the third base line. Boy, was that close. Jim Joyce dancing out of the way. His life in peril even as he was trying to make a call. Rivera reached on an error his first time. Tough error. He had a bullet to third. Brewers have seen about enough champagne popped at their expense. Last year, Milwaukee was in Boston when the Red Sox clinched. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Low for a ball. It's 1-1. A lot of the Brewers stayed in the dugout after Game 1 was over and just watched the fans and the players celebrate. I'm sure many thinking this time next year, it'll be our turn. Here's the pitch. It's a strike on the outside corner. 1-2 the count. Carl has been battling a flu bug that has been flying around the Brewers clubhouse. We've mentioned previously that Mike Fenners has had some bronchitis and sinus problems, asthma. Scott Carl has had a bad cold. In fact, a number of players have been a bit stopped up here of late. Ball downstairs. 2-2. Carl had it very bad here a couple of days ago. Yesterday didn't look too good. He said that bus ride from Baltimore to New York, about a 3.5-hour ride after the game on Monday, was just a killer. Was feeling worse and worse throughout the game, then loaded onto that bus for 3 hours. And said he was just miserable. Looping line drive, caught by the shortstop, Jose Valentin, and a runner scampers back to second. Finally, an out here in the third, and it brings up Jorge Posada. While the Yankee catcher stands in, let's pause 10 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. You're listening to the Brewers Radio Network.
WRLO, Antigo, Crandon, Rhinelander. The bankroll has climbed to $400 this week at Reeves Family Foods on Lincoln Street, Rhinelander. Get your card punched today.
Posada reached on a fielder's choice his first time. He chops one down the third base side, foul with 0-1. Posada looking for his first major league hit. He spent some time with the Yankees last year in September. Got into one game, but had no hits. Switch hitting catcher, and a good one. I've been hearing good things about Posada for a couple of years. Still very young, 24 years old. The 0-1 pitch. Swinging a foul back and out of play. The reputation is that he's a good defensive catcher, calls a good game. And supposed to be a positive personality in the clubhouse as well. Here's the 0-2 from Carl. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Posada's caught looking. Rung up by Jim McKeon, who's not making friends on either team so far tonight. 3 runs in, but now 2 out. And it brings up the number 8 hitter, Mike Aldretti.
Mike Aldretti.
Aldretti for the year, a .215 average, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. His last home run came back on July 5th. Big home run off Ricky Bonas and the Brewers. Swing and a miss by the left-hand hitter. 0-1. All the guests on the On Deck show receive gift certificates from Saz's Steakhouse. Saz's features award-winning ribs, and now Saz's famous barbecue sauce and barbecued pork sandwich meat are available statewide at your local grocer for your home cookouts. Swinging a pop foul and out of play. New York, bottom of the third. So far, the doubleheader has not been competitive. 19-2 in the opener. Let's see if Kent Sommerfeld can work up the math for me here. It makes it 24-3. And the 2 games combined, ball outside, 1-2. About the Yankees roster. Now it sets up for the postseason. They've got 3 outstanding starters. David Cohn is an ace on almost any staff. Andy Pettit might be the Cy Young winner. Swing and a miss at a good off-speed delivery. And Jimmy Key is as crafty a lefty as there is around. We'll talk more about that when we come back in the fourth. At the end of 3 at Yankee Stadium, it's New York 5 and Milwaukee 1.
Okay, I see a lot of damage here. What happened?
It was awful, man.
Just the facts.
Well, we were just watching TV when there was a knock on the door, and there was this 8-foot gorilla.
8-foot gorilla?
Yeah, and he started jumping on the furniture, breaking everything.
8-foot gorilla did this?
Yeah, and then he stormed into the kitchen and he took our beer.
Took your beer?
Yeah, MGD Light.
MGD Light?
Yeah, and then on his way out, he flushed Bob down the toilet.
That's the most amazing story I've ever heard.
Why?
I didn't know MGD made a light.
It's a crime if you haven't heard about Miller Genuine Draft Light, the refreshing cold filter taste of MGD that won't fill you up.
Well, now what do you say?
Tell me again about the 8-foot gorilla.
MGD Light, the lighter side of MGD. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
When it comes to power needs, come to Hardware Hank. We'll keep your flashlight beaming and your radio screaming with alkaline batteries from Duracell. Choose from a large variety of sizes, C, D, or 9-volt, AA, or AAA. Duracell has a battery to help you power up almost everything. Remember, Duracell is the name you can trust, so trust your battery needs to Hardware Hank.
Got a lot more going for you with Hank. Hardware Hank.
Usinger's Old Fashioned Wieners, a fan favorite in the Journal Sentinel Consumer Survey and at County Stadium, too. Make a great grab at your grocer. Bring home Usinger's Wieners.
Well, the Brewers need to dig out of a hole here as we go to the fourth inning. Jahan, Newfield, and Mieske coming up against Kenny Rogers with the Brewers down by 4. Rogers into the motion, his first pitch. Big breaking curveball strike. Now with Key and Pettit and David Cohn, that's as good a 1-2-3 as any team this side of Atlanta. The 0-1 pitch, fastball high and outside. And for the most part, those guys are going to go 6 or 7 innings, so your bullpen is not going to be tested that severely most nights, particularly in tight games where you have a good chance to win. 1-1 pitch, way outside, 2-1. And if those starters can get 6 or 7 innings in the books, then you've got Mariano Rivera, who some are now touting for the Cy Young or even the MVP award in the American League. Ball downstairs, 3-1 to Jahan. And then John Wetland, only the second Yankee closer in history to have 40 or more saves. So their starters and their finishers are as good as anybody, maybe better. Strike called outside corner, full count now on Jahan, 3-2. And again, in the postseason, the way the off days break down, that may be all you need is about 5 or 6 pitchers. Payoff pitch, checked his swing and fouled it off. You take Rogers out of the rotation and you put him into the bullpen where he has pitched before. It's not like taking just any starter, moving him to the pen. He pitched onto the bullpen with effectiveness in Texas from time to time. He's got a very good curveball, so he matches up well against left-hand hitters. And Kenny Rogers might just solve that problem of no southpaws in the bullpen. Swinging a foul away by Jahan. And gives you really, along with Rivera and Wetland, 3 good pitchers in the pen. And then again, offensively, all you have to do is score enough to let those pitchers win some games for you. Payoff pitch, way outside with a fastball. He walked it. Jaha's aboard to lead off the fourth, and it brings up Mark Newfield. You've also got Dwight Gooden. Though he has struggled in the second half, his ERA is .484. When they talk about Yankee pitchers struggling like Kenny Rogers and Dwight Gooden, with most team ERAs over 5. Gooden's at .484. Swinging a foul away by Newfield. Rogers came into this game at .478. You've got Jeff Nelson out there. He would be the top right-hand setup man on a lot of ball clubs and might close on some. His ERA for the year is about 4.5. So that pitching staff, in my mind, is clearly the strongest in the American League going into the postseason. Breaking ball is down and in. A ball and a strike on Newfield, caught looking his first time on a disputed call. He took a long, hard look at Jimmy McKeon after McKeon rang him up on a curveball to end the first. Rogers at the belt. A look at Jahan, then comes to the plate, swing and a miss. And though, again, the Yankee lineup is not exactly full of guys leading the league in various offensive categories, Bernie Williams would hit in the middle of anybody's order. Tino Martinez had a terrific year, hitting about 290, 25 home runs, 110 plus RBIs. Slow curveball missed downstairs. Newfield checked his swing. Paul O'Neill, a 300 hitter with some pop. Derek Jeter in the second half of the season has hit about 370 and has made all the plays defensively. Joe Girardi's a catcher that's capable of scoring some runs for you. Not much power, but makes good contact. 290 or 300 hitter and can swipe a bag. They can run a little bit. This Yankee team can. Wade Boggs, a good table center for a lineup, swinging a foul away, bounces over the Brewers dugout, skips up into the seats. So again, no, that's not Albert Bell and Manny Ramirez and Jim Thome, but when you combine the offensive attributes that New York has, the defensive skills this team has, and they're pretty good defensively, and put it together with that pitching staff, this Yankee team could end up in the World Series easily. Swing and a miss by Newfield. So Mark Newfield is fanned for the second time in Game 2. 1 on, now 1 out for Matt Mieske. Miller Beer brings you the American League scores and standings. Toronto outslugged Detroit this afternoon, 13-11. Brow the winner, Timlin the save. Rookie Julio Mosqueda had 4 hits in that game and 2 RBIs. For the Blue Jays, John Cummings took the loss. Tigers have lost 14 straight games at home. And that's where the Brewers finished the season. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Ball downstairs to Mieske. He wants Jim McKeon to look at the baseball, who obliges. Says the ball looks fine, puts it back into play. Delgado is 25th. Sprague number 35 for Toronto. Pride, Nevin, and Clark all with home runs for Detroit. Seattle wins in California 11-2. Big win for Seattle. Swinging a foul tip by Mieske. Solomon Torres does the job today. He's now 3-2. Sean Bosky the loser. Bosky gave up home runs today to Joey Cora and Dave Hollins. He's now allowed 40 home runs this year. That's a new club record. 1-1 pitch. Mieske looks at a big bender for a strike. Rogers has a good curveball working today. Dan Wilson also homered for Seattle. Randy Velarde, number 14 for California. So Seattle within 2.5 of Texas in the West. And the M's creep up within 1 game of Baltimore. Inside with a fastball, 2-2. The Orioles are playing right now, and they're in the bottom of the 6th inning at Fenway Park. It's Baltimore 3 and Boston 2. Rick Krivda against Tim Wakefield. So the Orioles are going with a left-hander in Fenway. We'll see if that lead can hold up. 3-2, bottom 6 at Fenway in a very big game. Swing and a miss by Mieske. Struck him out. Foul tipped it into the mid of Posada. Back-to-back strikeouts by Rogers. Mieske didn't care for that call by McKeon. He thought the ball might have been foul tipped into the dirt. But it appeared to be a clean pickup. I think McKeon was correct. And the replay confirms that. So from 1 on and none out to 1 on and 2 out. And here's Mark Loretta, robbed of a base hit on a terrific play by Cecil Fielder. Cleveland leads Minnesota 3-1, bottom 6. Brewers keeping an eye on that game. Milwaukee entered play today a game and a half in front of the Twins in the battle for third in the Central. Swing and a miss by Loretta. Charles Nagy looking for win number 17 for Cleveland. Kansas City and Chicago 2-2, top of the third. Mike McFarland, a 2-run homer for Kansas City in support of Kevin Appier. The stretch and the pitch. Strike 2 on the outside corner. Chicago, like Seattle, praying for a Baltimore loss tonight. And they must win themselves. They were a game and a half back entering play today. Ground ball to short. Soho to Fox, and the inning is over. Leadoff man aboard, and the Brewers can't move him 1 inch. We go to the bottom half of the fourth at Yankee Stadium. It's been all New York today. 5-1 Yankees.
Football season's underway. You're harvesting the fruits of your labor in the garden, and there's a nip in the air. It can only mean fall is on the way. Make sure you prepare your vehicle for cold weather driving. Get a lighter weight oil in your engine. Stop at Southside Tire and get a lube, oil, and filter for just $17.95. Southside Tire also does brakes, shocks, struts, exhaust work, and alignments. Call Southside Tire for an appointment. Southside Tire in Anago, Schofield, or De Pere.
In today's competitive world, American businesses place greater value on their time than ever before. We at McCormick Klessig understand how valuable your time is. So let us take care of your business insurance needs, because we realize that you don't have time to worry about business insurance. Call me, Bob Klessig, and I'll customize a business insurance plan for you that will eliminate all your worries and will save you valuable time and money. That's McCormick Klessig on Claremont Street in Anago, your business insurance connection.
Out of the Old West, the East, the rugged North, and the Deep South comes the Loon Ranger. Served only at S.A. Loons. The Loon Ranger is a 6-ounce char-broiled ribeye steak, mounds of fresh sautéed vegetables on toasted French bread with French fries or their famous beans. This is a sandwich not soon forgotten. A large variety of Loon sandwiches served daily at S.A. Loons, a block north of 47 on Highway 51 in Woodruff. S.A. Loons, away!
Visit the professionals at Napa. Sale. Napa premium thermostats are now on sale for as low as $3.99. Napa Schofield on Schofield Avenue.
Bottom of the fourth inning at Yankee Stadium. 5 runs, 5 hits for New York, 1 run, 4 hits for Milwaukee. Each team has kicked one. Andy Fox, the number 9 hitter, leads it off for New York. Then it's the top of the order, Luis Sojo and Jim Leyritz. Brewers must win this game and the 3 in Detroit to get back to 500, which is the major goal remaining for Milwaukee. That and finishing third in the division. The pitch by Carl, fastball strike, outside corner. Fox at $1.99, 3 home runs, 13 driven in. There's a ball inside. They go to the 7th now at Fenway, 3-2 Baltimore on Boston. Scores and standings are brought to you each day by Miller Beer. You've got to reach for what's out there. There's a bloop to center. First inning. One of those runs unearned. He got roughed up last frame. A 2-run homer by Strawberry. Back-to-back double. Scored another run. The Brewers run scored in the first. It was an unearned run. RBI ground out by Jaha. Curveball inside. Game 1 went to the home team, 19-2. Carl into the motion, the 1-0. There's a strike on the outside corner. Soho has bounced out and flied to center. He was 2 for 4 in the opener with an RBI. Mariano Duncan has been experiencing some back spasms, so he has not played in either game of this twin bill. Carl missed down and away. They need to get him healthy and Wade Boggs healthy by next week. Duncan has quietly had a fine year for New York. They were worried sick about their second base problems this year, but for the most part, when healthy anyway, Duncan has solved them. Ball outside, 3-1. In the National League, it's Florida 2 and Atlanta nothing. Bottom of the 8th inning. Carl catches the inside corner with a breaking ball. St. Louis and Pittsburgh 6-6 in the bottom of the 6th. Cincinnati 4, Chicago 2, bottom of the 5th inning. Willie Green, another home run. He's on the tear. Soho reaches out, pokes one foul on the right side, back into the stands. Philly in front of Montreal, 2-1, bottom of the 5th. Big game for the Expos. Right now, Montreal, after having been eliminated in the East, is a game and a half behind San Diego for the wild card. Swinging a fly ball down a left field line. Long run for Newfield toward the corner, reaches up and makes the one-hand grab. 2 gone in the 4th for Leyritz, who has walked and scored both times up. The Mets leading in Houston 2-0 in the 4th. What a collapse by the Astros. They've lost 9 straight games and have now dipped under 500. Only good thing that's happened to Houston this year is the news that the Astros apparently will stay in Houston and get a new retractable roof stadium. Swinging a foul back. Later tonight, San Francisco is in Los Angeles for a relatively meaningless game. Padres are a game and a half behind Los Angeles. The Dodgers almost certainly will make the postseason. They lead Montreal by 3 games. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. San Diego in action at home against Colorado tonight. Joey Hamilton against Mark Thompson. It's Estacio and Van Landingham in that Giants-Dodgers game. Swinging a foul away right at home plate. And you're up to date on the scoreboard. Of course, all the scores, the highlights, the particulars, the inside information, the stuff you need to know and the stuff you don't care to know. Coming up on the 10th inning show. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a breaking ball. He struck him out. Carl with his 4th strikeout, and the Yankees are retired quietly. One of the few times tonight, 1-2-3. We go to the 5th in Game 2 of the Twin Bill. It's New York 5 and Milwaukee 1.
Here's a clever summer cool down. Plymouth Clearance Chillers, where the 96s make way for new 97s. Now qualified buyers get 0 down and no monthly payments for 90 days on new Plymouth Voyagers. You get easy out roller seats and dual airbags at no extra charge, as well as the option of a second sliding door. And right now you can cool off with great clearance prices on Voyager, starting at only $17,195, including destination. In fact, Plymouth Voyager is the lowest priced minivan you can buy. That's a base sticker price comparison. Standard equipment levels vary. You can even splash in up to $1,300 in option package values. So chill out with the Plymouth Clearance Chillers at the minivan store. It's another clever idea at your Plymouth dealer. Sticker price excludes tax. Dealers negotiate own prices. Limited supply of base models. Tax, title, license, and insurance due in advance to delay payment off. Package values based on total value of package items versus usual discounted MSRP. And always wear your seatbelt.
It's clear the concept of the office is being redefined. And office no longer means punching a time clock every day in one inflexible location.
Kinko's has connected us with Howard Rheingold.
Being locked down and owning everything you need doesn't make any sense.
He's the author of the book, The Virtual Community.
Today, businesses must become more agile. That's why businesses are building relationships with people like Kinko's.
Every day, over 200,000 businesses use Kinko's, the new way to office. Call 1-800-2-KINKO's or visit the Kinko's website at www.kinkos.com.
Making it to the pros means giving them your best.
And being a professionally trained auto technician means installing only the best.
Like NGK spark plugs, they're right from the start. 81% of the world's automakers specify NGK as their original equipment spark plugs. NGK spark plugs for a better tune-up for your imports.
So when you want the best, look for the pro who installs CarQuest. CarQuest. Welcome to the pros.
We go to the fifth inning, and once again, here's Bob Uecker.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. It is Jose Valentin to lead off, and he's 2-0 in the count to Kenny Rogers. 5-1, New York. Trying for a sweep in the doubleheader. And the pitch, it's a little bit low, ball 3. The Brewers have managed only 4 hits in this game. The Yankees have but 5. Big blast, the home run by Strawberry. Here's a strike on Valentin, and it's 2-1. The left-hander coming back. Valentin sends one to center and deep. Back is Rivera, and he'll catch it on the warning track. Ruben Rivera, playing in center field in Game 2, makes a nice running catch. And with one man out, here is Mike Matheny, who singled back in the third. Baltimore still leading Boston, 3-2, 8th inning. Here's the pitch. Matheny wraps one to short. That should be an easy play for Luis Sojo, and it is. Two are up, two are down here in the Brewers' half of inning number 5. Each club has committed an error. Kansas City on top of Chicago. 5-2 in the 6th. In the Nationals, Cincinnati 4 and Chicago 2 in the 6th inning. Florida shut out Atlanta 3-0. Mets 4, Astros 0 in the 5th. Here's the pitch by Rogers, and the curve drops a little bit low. Gerald Williams is the batter. Here comes Rogers, dropping low again on a bender, and it's ball 2. Jorge Posado doing the catching. The youngster played at Columbus this year. Been up and down with the Yankees a couple of times. Here's a bouncer hit to Charlie Hayes, and he throws him out to end the 5th. After 4 1/2, it's still the Yankees 5 and the Brewers 1.
You know, if you can't get out to the game, you can still tailgate. Just start by getting out to your favorite grocers and picking up Saz's Original Barbecue Sauce or Saz's Sassy Barbecue Sauce. They're both 100% fat-free, all-natural, and go great on anything that goes on the grill. Then get out to the backyard, fire up the grill, turn up the radio, and you're at the stadium. Now, here's where you can get Saz's Barbecue Sauce.
Saz's Barbecue Sauce, available at your favorite grocer. Today we're talking about hitting with Brewer batting coach Lamar Johnson. What's the key to hitting, Lamar?
The first thing is concentration. You got to stay focused. That's tough when you're hungry. So I always tell my guys to grab a Uecker Bavarian on the way to their own deck circle.
Sort of a warm-up wiener.
Exactly. Once you take a bite of that good old-fashioned Uecker wiener, you're ready to take care of business.
And anxious to circle the bases and get back for another one.
Now you're talking.
Did he scope your name? Okay, focus, people. Okay. In our last session, we discussed that as football players, you had a fear of airline seats, did you?
Yeah.
They were too small. You had to bully the person next to you for the armrest and so on.
Right.
Today, let's discuss something else that seems to give some people trouble. Changing planes at big airports.
Yeah, when the airport's big and scary, I just kind of wander around hoping I'll find my gate. Or at least a hot dog place.
Yes, hot dogs are good.
Sometimes there's like a mile between gates, so you gotta run to make your connection.
Yeah, I've done
People
that.
really jump when they see me coming at them.
And what's the deal with those moving sidewalks? When I step on them, they just stop.
No, gravity's not too fun, is it?
No.
Why not just avoid the hassle? Fly Skyway Airlines, the Midwest Express connection, non-stop to hassle-free, uncongested Mitchell Airport in Milwaukee. Then fly award-winning Midwest Express to cities coast to coast.
So some airports are just too darn big and confusing.
Not enough snacks.
At the airport?
No, here. Don't you have any chips or something?
Come true at the 1997 Brewers Fantasy Camp in Chandler, Arizona, February 9th through the 16th, with your favorite former Brewers. Here's the number to call, 1-800-336-CAMP, for further detail. Darryl Strawberry, who has become a fan favorite with the Yankees, takes one down low. He hit his 11th home run back in the third. Hit it to center field against Scott Carl, and the 1-0 pitch. 2-0 as he missed down low. They run a bunch of different little things on their big scoreboard out in right center here at Yankee Stadium, and one of their promotions is similar to what the Brewers do. You know, the birthdays up on the board and the announcements. Here's the pitch. This one's popped up into short left field. Valentine the call, and the catch to retire Strawberry. And one of the deals they do on the board here is they put up proposals, marriage proposals. And then the guy's voice, who they use on the scoreboard system, the voiceovers, he he exhorts the crowd, yes or no. Here's a strike on Cecil Fielder. You know, they put the name up there. So-and-so, will you marry me? And then the guy's name, and then he asked the crowd, should he do it or should she do it? The pitch hit foul by Fielder. Should she do it? Accept, yes, no, whatever. And you'd be surprised how often this crowd, I don't know if they do it because of the names that are up there or what, but how often they boo and hiss and scream at the top of their lungs, no. And they did that back in the top of the inning. Here's a ball inside. 1-2. They do it differently here in New York, folks. They really do. The pitch. Fielder got jammed and hit one foul up along first. Still 1-2 on Cecil. He had a double and scored back in the third. You get them from all over the city and outside of the city. The pitch outside a ball. Speaking of outside, 2-2. Yeah, you get them from all around out here in the Bronx. New Jersey, Connecticut, the 2-2 pitch. Swinging a bouncer, hit wide of third, in the left, a base hit. Cecil Fielder has his second hit. And here is Charlie Hayes, who is 2 for 2 and has 2 RBIs. Most of the, I would say, probably 90%, 85% maybe, of all of the folks who come to Yankee Stadium travel the subway system. There is virtually no parking around here at all. You don't know how blessed you are at County Stadium. Here's a ball inside, or any of these other stadiums that have parking facilities enough where you can drive to and from the game and get around easily enough. Not here at all. Very, very limited parking. Here's the pitch. Hayes sends one into right center. Who wants it? Look out. Gerald Williams makes the catch. I don't know what it is about problems with Williams and right fielders. Nobody wants to give way out there. If he makes the call, you got to let him go. I know sometimes outfielders don't want to give up a catch. Not that it's anything statistical, but they don't want to give up a catch. They feel it's in their area in right center or left center. But that's where the center fielder becomes the man. Anything in center can be caught, but he's got to have the speed to go into the gaps. Here's a swing and a fly ball in the center. This should do it. Williams has that one, and the inning is over. No runs. With a hit, one left. After 5, it's 5-1, New York.
Imagine this. You are gone.
Now it's time for Midwest Express Airlines once again to salute its partners in travel. Tonight it's Gail Unger of Horizon Travel in Menominee Falls. 4 tickets to a future Brewers home game, courtesy of Midwest Express Airlines, the best care in the air. One of the other things about Yankee Stadium that has been put into the menu this year, as Jeff Cirillo takes the ball, the ground crew, when they drag the infield in the 6th inning, they have really become a part of this this cheering and screaming and hollering. Much of it is directed at the ground crew, the cheering and the hollering and the hoorays and whatever. When they drag the infield, they have a little routine. There's, I believe there's 5 or 6. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike, 2-1. Members of the ground crew who, while they are dragging the infield with those screens during the break between the 5th and 6th, they do a little routine to YMCA by the village people. Here's a swing and a bouncer hit to short. Easy play for Luis Sojo, and he throws out Cirillo. Yeah, they do their little YMCA and do a couple of spins, drop the ropes that are used to pull the screen. They drop that and then do a little pirouette. Pick the screens up again, take another 20 steps, do another YMCA deal. Much to the delight of the Yankee crowd, and they're always standing and hollering and cheering for these guys, and they have become as much a part of the Yankee tradition as the players themselves. You get a kick out of seeing them each and every night when they get out there and do their thing. 5-1 New York. 1 man out. We're in the Brewers' half of the 6th. The pitch by David Nilsson is in and over, and that's the strike. 0-1. I'll bet you they don't do that out at Shea Stadium. One strike. There's always a great rivalry. Here's the pitch. Inside a ball between the Mets and the Yankees. For attendance, for the more favorable press here. Even their intercity series, spring training series that they play. The pitch, swinging a roller up along first. Picked up by Rogers, and he tags David Nilsson. That's the 2nd out. Here's John Jaha. That game is sometimes thought of as a playoff game, really. George Steinbrenner hates to lose to the Mets and vice versa. Yeah, that's become a big thing, too. Bragging rights to the city. 2 men are out. John Jaha, the batter. He knocked in the only Brewers run in the 1st inning with a bouncer. Walked in the 4th, looks at a strike. Nothing and 1. Here's the pitch. Inside a ball, and it's even 1-1. Yankee Stadium, which will be the site of postseason play starting on Tuesday night. .318 down the left field line. That's very inviting. The right field line even more so. They have posted out there. Jaha looks at a curveball strike and a dandy. The sign in the right field corner says 314. A lot of people dispute that measurement. Balls fly out of here very, very easily. 385 to the power alley in right center. Here's the pitch. Way outside. It's 408 to dead center. The left center field alley is 399 and then drops off to 318 at the foul pole in left. And this place used to be a lot bigger than that. Much bigger. All except for right field. Years ago, before they renovated Yankee Stadium, here's the pitch. Jaha rolls it foul towards the Brewers dugout. Before the renovation took place, that right field area had a fence that was, maybe waist high to a guy about 6 foot tall, so you can imagine what it would have looked like. And balls went in those seats like nothing. I mean, left-handed hitters had field days here. Swinging a base hit to center for J.J. His second hit in the doubleheader, and it brings up Mark Newfield, who's nothing for 5. He struck out twice in Game 2. Yeah, left-handed batters in the old Yankee Stadium, and it's easy now, but back then, man, oh man, Mantle and Maris and you name them. I mean, John Blanchard, Greg Nettles, Reggie Jackson, they used to tear this place apart in right. Here's the pitch to Newfield, and it's a little bit low, ball 1. And then center field was a country mile. That's been shortened, as it has in right center. That was a mile out there. And always a tough place to play late in the season. I don't know if a lot of you will remember some of the fall classics played here in New York when the outfielders, especially in left, inside a ball, 2-0, had such terrible times with fly balls. It's going to be interesting to see how far the Yankees go this year. They are primed to go the distance for sure. Here's the pitch, down low on Newfield, and it's ball 3. Balls and no strikes. The stretch by Rogers and the pitch. It's down low, and he walks Newfield, sending Jaha to second. That is the second walk issued by Kenny Rogers. Matt Mieske is going to be the batter now. Rogers has struck him out twice. Here's the pitch. There's a high curveball. Nothing doing in the Yankees bullpen, and Jorge Posada is out to talk things over with Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers smiling at the youngster. You know, as a rookie, there's not much you're going to tell a guy like Kenny Rogers. You might run out there just to give him a bit of a breather, but not much you can really say. Probably catching Rogers for the first time ever. He may have caught him in spring training. As I said, he was here's a drive in the left center, a base hit. Miesche's going to have an extra base hit. Here is 1 run scoring. Mieske into second with a run scoring double, and it's 5-2 now. Jaha scores. Newfield winds up at third, and the batter is going to be Mark Loretta. And we get some activity now in the New York bullpen. That was a high fastball, and Mieske jumped all over it.
Second baseman, walk number
2. Here is the stretch and the pitch. Outside a ball. Mel Stottlemyre, who is the Yankee pitching coach, is heading out to talk things over.
Hold off on
Mel Stottlemyre, a former Yankee. Excellent right-hander he was. Played on some very good Yankee clubs, championship teams. Todd Stottlemyre, Mel's son, has been a big league pitcher for a number of years. St. Louis Cardinals now. He'll enjoy postseason play under manager Tony La Russa. All right, here we go with Loretta, the batter. Runners at second and third and 2 outs. And the pitch inside for a ball. One and nothing. Two balls, no strikes. Here it is. 3-0. He missed again. Dave Pavlis, a right-hander, is up in the New York bullpen. Joe Torre keeping a very close eye on Kenny Rogers, along with Mel Stottlemyre. The pitch. There is a strike, 3-1. This may be the last inning for Kenny Rogers, if indeed he does get through it, which I'm sure he will. I mean, Torre will leave him out there for another hitter or so. Here's the pitch. Strike 2 on an outside corner curve. Three and 2. And this crowd has been celebrating since game 1. Here's the pitch. Foul to the upper deck. Still 3-2. From the stretch, he's ready again. And the pitch. Low and outside, and the bases are loaded. The batter is going to be Jose Valentin. And that is all for Kenny Rogers. Dave Pavlis, the right-hander, gets the call for Joe Torre. And we'll be back with more after this on the Brewers Radio Network. It's the 6th, 1 in, 2 on, 2 outs, 5-2, New York. Right-hander Dave Pavlis is now working for New York. Pavlis, in his 14th game for New York, yet to win or lose. He has 1 save, 19 innings, 20 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned. The Brewers have the bases loaded, and Jose Valentin will turn around and bat left-handed for the first time in this game. Tying runs are on. Here's the pitch. It drops in nicely. A strike on a curve, and it's 0-1. 5-2, New York. in the 6th. Here is the stretch. And the pitch. Outside a ball on Jose, and it's 1-1. Right-hander ready again. The pitch. Valentin knocks one on the ground to Cecil Fielder. He'll take the plant assistant. And the inning ends. The Brewers add one more run on a couple of base hits. Leave 3 stranded. And after 5 1/2, it's 5-2 New York.
When you're looking for some really good food, come and meet your friends at the Cutlass Motor Lodge on Antigo's South Side. The Cutlass serves breakfast and dinner 7 days a week. Enjoy breakfast every day, including some specials starting at just $2.45, including coffee. The Cutlass serves different specials nightly and their famous Sunday family-style all-you-can-eat dinner. Don't forget the Cutlass all-you-can-eat Friday fish fry for just $6.25. The Cutlass Motor Lodge in Antigo, serving breakfast and dinner 7 days a week.
If you've been to a Shell station lately, you might have noticed a few paw prints around. Not familiar prints, but don't worry, they're just books from the Jane Goodall collection. There are 8 books in all, and at only $1.29 a piece with an 8-gallon minimum fill-up. For every book you buy, Shell will make a donation to the Jane Goodall Institute for Wildlife. They'll even give you a free case to keep your books in. So stop by Pump House in Amigo or Wagner Shell in Wittenberg and take home something wild.
That's what I like. I'm here at Kopp's Food Center to find out what people like about Kopp's.
The deli.
Why?
My mom works all day. Sometimes she's too tired to cook. So she puts together a meal from Kopp's Deli.
When she's too tired, the deli does all the work.
Sure, we all get what we want. Right. Roasted chicken, salads, barbecue, perfect.
Here comes your mom.
Mom! Gee, you look tired.
Well. The deli. Another thing to like about Kopp's Food Center.
Troy-Bilt lawn tractors have an amazing 7-year warranty. Check them out at Bob's Power Center, Lincoln Street, Rhinelander, where they meet or beat any factory-delivered price on all Troy-Bilt products. Phone 362-2225.
The Yankees come to bat in the bottom half of inning number 6. Jorge Posada is going to lead things off. He's the Yankee catcher. Aldretti next, and then Andy Fox. Posada. He's a switch hitter. And the pitch to him is high for a ball. Here's the next offering, and it's lined sharply to left to base hit. That for Posada is his first big league hit. Young catcher. And he receives a standing O from this jubilant crowd here tonight. Jorge Posada. Here's Mike Aldretti against Scott Carl. Yeah, that's a thrill right there. It really is. First big league hit. There's a strike. 0-1. Posada being saluted by the bleacherites out in right center. Here is the pitch. It's a ball outside. Those right center field bleacher seats are always full here in New York. They have an area out in left center just above the bullpens that is ready for seating. I assume they will use that for postseason. Here's a swing and a foul, and it's 1-2. This place used to seat 60-some thousand prior to the renovations back in the 70s when they renovated Yankee Stadium. 74 and 75, the stadium was closed. Inside of all, the Yankees played over in Long Island at Shea Stadium. Matter of fact, that's the 2 years when they relocated the monuments in center. All of that stuff, the monuments that were in center field prior to those years were in play. The pitch, swinging a bouncing ball, hit to first. David Nilsson, he better hurry. He does, to beat Aldretti to the bag. He had ideas of going for Posada at second, and he almost waited too long. 1 out, runner at second, and Andy Fox is the batter. I was saying earlier, to hit a ball out in center was a tremendous blast. And those monuments that were dedicated to Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, Miller Huggins, famed Yankee manager in the Ruthian days of the Yankees. Those monuments were in play. I mean, there were times, here's the pitch, that's a strike, when batters would hit long fly balls into that monument area, and they were in play. As I said, the outfielders had to go behind the monuments to retrieve a baseball. 1 strike. You had a center fielder here. You had to have a guy who could really cover some ground. Strike 2 on an outside corner fastball. Mickey Mantle. They had some guys here who could really fly. DiMaggio played a great center field. Here's the 0-2. Down low and outside. Bernie Williams does a heck of a job. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But other than the monuments, instead of building more monuments, plaques were built into the wall or put on the wall out there. It's now situated between the 2 bullpens. The plaques honoring DiMaggio and Mantle, Thurman Munson, Roger Maris, Ellie Howard, remember the Yankee catcher? The Scooter, Phil Rizzuto, they all have plaques out there. Billy Martin, Lefty Gomez, Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra, the pitch, swinging a foul upstairs. Bill Dickey, Allie Reynolds. Years ago, before they renovated Yankee Stadium, fans had access to the field after the game. They were allowed to exit the center field gate and walk past those monuments, but that's no longer the case. But there is a walkway out there where here's the pitch, down low ball, where fans can get a look at the monuments and the bullpen area and the plaques that are on the walls. It's a nice tribute to former Yankee players and a big part of Yankee history. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Matter of fact, down in their stadium club area, which is 1 level down from where we are, they have the Yankees, the great Yankee room. Some great pictures in there and Yankee history. Nice place to visit and take a look around and see some of the former greats and some of the great photos taken by some of the great sports photographers here in New York City. 3-2 pitch. Check swing, strike 3. He went around. That takes care of Andy Fox. He tried to check his swing, but he couldn't do it. Carl gets the strikeout before Soho bats, 10 for identification. This is the Brewers Radio Network.
WRLO, Antigo, Crandon, Rhinelander. The bankroll has climbed to $400 this week at Reeves Family Foods on Lincoln Street, Rhinelander. Get your card punched today.
Luis Soho is in there now. He's nothing for 3 in game 2. 2 for 7 in the doubleheader. Derek Jeter gets the night off in Game 2. He started Game 1 and then left early. Soho played short, and Pat Kelly came on to play at second. Here's the 1-0 pitch. 2-0 as Scott Carl missed down low. Bob Wickman, a right-hander, is up in the Brewers' pen. Two balls and no strikes. The pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Two balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. That's a little bit high, and it's 3-1 now. We're talking about some of the other Yankee greats who have plaques adorning that wall out there. Remember Casey Stengel? I'm sure you do. Former Yankee manager.
Down here all alone, I figured
3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike. 3-2.
Is the mic open?
Yes, yours is.
Well, you look like
How
you're
you doing,
down
buddy?
here alone, just kind of hanging out by
Reggie
yourself.
Jackson is here with us
Is it
tonight.
your cologne?
Had a chance to. Yeah, I work alone all the time. I'm a solo
Is
act.
it your cologne?
No, I thought you said, do I work alone? I'm solo all the time. You
Are
know
you on
that.
the radio, really?
Yeah,
You and Vin
absolutely. What do
Scully,
you think,
huh?
this closed circuit? How you doing, buddy?
Very good. Very
Swinging a looping line drive foul to right. Had a chance to visit with Reggie before the doubleheader tonight, and congratulations on the Yankee win in Game 1, Reggie, and an Eastern Division championship, and it's on the postseason play now, something that you are very familiar with, Mr. October, and you've had some of your greatest moments here in this ballpark and in postseason play.
I was very fortunate, Bobby. You know, I always like to say that I was such a good player, but you know, everybody knows I can't wait to say those kind of things, but really, I played with a lot of great players.
You did.
I played in Oakland, I played in California, and of course in New York, and had an opportunity to play with a couple of Hall of Famers, Raleigh Fingers, Catfish Hunter, Rod Carew.
Yep.
You know, really great players. And so I was very fortunate. Rich Gossage will probably...
Well, you're there yourself. Let's not forget that. Reggie Jackson is a member of baseball's Hall of Fame, and deservedly so.
When you have those opportunities, you're on those kind of clubs, those kind of players keep the game close enough. I was never a high average hitter, but I was a guy that could get one base hit and make a difference.
Here's a swing and a base hit to left. The Yankees are going to get another run on a base hit by Louis Soho, and it's now 6-2 New York. Go ahead, Reg. Now, you know, you always played on some great clubs, but I mean, you know, good players breed good baseball too, and I think tradition with the Yankees has a lot to do with it too. I don't know, there's something about putting on a Yankee uniform that brings out sometimes a little bit extra in an average player. You've seen that happen here.
You know, I'll agree with you there, Bob, because for myself, there was so much pressure to succeed and to do well. The expectations here in New York were extremely high. Playing for George Steinbrenner, the expectations are enormously high, and that there's kind of a demand on you. And there's some players that, to me, have New York makeup, and some players that don't have New York makeup, and you really can't tell it until a player gets here. And I was very fortunate that the pressure that was put upon me, I responded in a positive fashion, and I think it was because of the people that were around me and I was surrounded with as friends and supporters. My father was a very, very strong influence on me.
I remember meeting your dad in Philadelphia. I remember meeting your dad in Philadelphia. Sure,
he was a good old regular guy.
He was a guy. You're right. He was. I went to the tailor shop with you, as a matter of fact, and met your dad and had a nice chat. You know, Reggie, and I mean, you've played here and you've been in New York for a long, long time. This city has taken a lot of good players and put them out of baseball. You've seen that happen. I mean, there's guys that have tried to beat this city and come out second best all the time.
You know, there was a player that came here with the Yankees in late 70s or early 80s, I should say, in Ed Whitson.
Oh, yeah, Eddie Whitson.
He's an outstanding pitcher and came here, and it didn't work for him. Yep. And he was also a tough guy.
Yeah, I know.
Real good makeup. Another fellow went over to the New York Mets, a tremendous offensive player by the name of George Foster.
Sure. Yeah.
And it did not work well for him. So there are some players that have New York makeup and some that don't. And that doesn't mean a player is any less talented. It's management's responsibility, and they have a responsibility to recognize, see if a player has that kind of makeup. You have to have a few players on your ball club, especially here in New York, like a Don Mattingly type, a Mariano Rivera type. He's just a young player, a Derek Jeter type, who will be bred in it and will not really understand anything else but the difficulty of playing here in New York, and he'll get comfortable with it. And when I look at what he's done during the season here for us, I look at him as earning his diploma this season. He, Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Andy Pettit, players that really have gained a tremendous amount of experience with the year 1996.
You know, the other thing, too, Reg, Joe Torre has done a good job here. He's been under a lot of pressure all year long. Not only, I mean, he's perfect here. He managed the Mets. He knows what it's all about to work in New York. But the pressure with the Yankees, I mean, there is an added amount of pressure with this Yankee ball club, with the media, whether it be print or electronic. You're under constant surveillance all the time, and I think George has really kind of let Joe go, hasn't he, and let him do his own thing. And to win, and I don't find anything wrong with that. I never have. I know you've had your run-ins with him, and so have a lot of other players, but the one thing that you can't argue is success that the Yankees have had.
Well, he definitely wants to put a good team on the field. He doesn't worry about the cost of putting that team on the field. If you look at the payroll we have now, it's absolutely exorbitant. And I know that there are times that we do well cash-wise here, but he will reach in his pocket and help the ball club succeed by paying different salaries out of his own pocket and not asking the rest of the partners to chip in.
Swinging a bouncer to first. Easy play for David Nilsson, and the inning is over. Reg, thanks for stopping in for a minute here. You know, it's always nice to see. I'll see you next week. Coming back to the postseason. You'll be here, won't you?
I sure will. Look forward to seeing you.
Okay, buddy. Thanks for stopping in, pal. At the end of 6 complete, it's the Yankees 6 and the Brewers 2.
Hello from Plank Road, where in order to prove Ice Brewed Ice House tastes like $1,000,000, we're going to conduct a little taste test that anyone can participate in. Just follow these simple instructions. First, go get $1,000,000. Any denominations will do, although 10s and 20s seem to work best for me. Next, get a nice cold Ice Brewed Ice House. Okay, now taste the $1,000,000. That's right, just pop a Ben Franklin in your mouth and start munching away. Not very tasty, is it? Didn't think so. Next, taste the Ice House. You know, Ice House is always ice brewed, so there's never any watered down taste, just more of what you want in a beer. And always smooth and easy going down. So, does Ice House taste like $1,000,000? No, it does not. Actually, it tastes a whole lot better. Ice Brewed Ice House. You can bank on it. Thanks and enjoy. Plank Road Brewery, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hello, you have reached the Wisconsin Travel Hotline. For information on Wisconsin's events and destinations, press 1 now. Thank you. Oktoberfest will serve up some good old German Gemütlichkeit September 27th through October 3rd in La Crosse. And Gaze Mills will host the 37th Annual Apple Festival, September 28th and 29th. Yes, there's nothing quite so satisfying as a big, juicy apple, which reminds me, if I get out my Lion King lunchbox here. Yes, here it is. Just look at that ripe red beauty. You know, I was going to save it, but, of course, there's that one little problem with apples. Unfortunately, I always keep a roll of dental floss handy. I can get that. Much better. For a free vacation guide offer, press 2 now. To find out more about Oktoberfest, the 37th Annual Apple Festival, and all the great getaways Wisconsin has for you this fall, call 1-800-432-TRIP for your free guide. That's 1-800-432-TRIP, Wisconsin. These are the days.
Mike Matheny leads off in the 7th inning. It's the Sprite home run inning. 550 in our jackpot for Eloise Peters of Beaver Dam. Eloise Peters of Beaver Dam, 799-1620 is the number. Reggie Jackson's nice enough to stick around for another half inning or so. Baseball Hall of Famer and a member of this New York Yankee organization now, and a guy who has a lot to do with a lot of the talent that has been assembled for the Yankees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Matheny. And it's 1-2 now on the Brewers catcher. Reg, there's an awful lot of talent on this Yankee ball club. You know the thing that's impressed me about them all year long, and I've said this all year. When you look at some of the other clubs in the American League, here's the 1-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging. Matheny is gone. And with one out, here is Gerald Williams. You take the Baltimore Orioles, the White Sox, well, just take the Boston Red Sox and the Orioles. I mean, the Orioles have put together some kind of a lineup. The thing that's impressed me about the Yankees is the fact that, forget about Cecil Fielder. He wasn't here all year. He's only hit 12 home runs as a Yankee. Here's the pitch to Williams, swinging a foul. Look out over the dugout. Ooh, that one had some sting on it. Everybody's all right, though. The thing that's impressed me, Reggie, is how they've done it without a big power hitter. I mean, Bernie Williams is a leader, forget Fielder, with 28.
We don't have a bopper.
Yeah.
We do not have a player. I think Bernie Williams just went over 100 RBIs, and of course, Tino Martinez has really been our best and most consistent hitter all year long. Our highest average hitter is a rookie.
Right.
And the shortstop, Derek Jeter, who's hit 9th, 1st, and 2nd all year long. And, you know, you take a look at our statistics, with 14 teams, we're 10th in the league in runs scored.
Yeah.
But we've had tremendous pitching, Uecker, and if you take a look at, you know, up until about a week ago, we won 84 straight ball games leading going into the 7th inning.
Yep.
With the combination of Mariano Rivera and John Wetman.
Boy, I want to tell you something. That guy, here's a strike on Gerald Williams, and it's 0-2. Mariano Rivera is, I'm sure that guy could be a closer too, but he's the perfect setup guy for John Wetland. I mean, we've seen him a few times this year, and that guy throws hard and harder.
You know, there's a lot of people that don't recognize that when we lost John Wetman with a pulled groin over in Chicago, and Johnny was down for just about a month, that we had lost 2 pitchers. We had to take Rivera out of his spot, and so rather than playing just 6- and 7-inning games, we then had to start playing 8-inning games, and it certainly made a difference.
It. Here's a swing and a foul by Williams. It's still a ball and 2 strikes.
Now, you guys remember that back over in Milwaukee in the early days of Raleigh Tigers. You played 7-inning games over there. The 8th and 9th, it was over. All Raleigh had to do was stand up in a bullpen, and the opposition knew that the game was over.
Absolutely. When you look at, here's the pitch, swinging a bouncer, foul again by Williams. When you look at what the Indians did a year ago, and what the White Sox have in Roberto Hernandez, but what the Indians had a year ago in Jose Mesa, who's you know, he's kind of come back to earth this year. Last year, that guy was unbelievable. I mean,
unbelievable. I think talk about 38 consecutive in a row, and that makes the ball club very comfortable, and confident. They know all they have to do is stay close.
Absolutely.
They don't have to score a bunch of runs. It allows the offense to relax and just play for 1 run, and you know you're going to win the ball game. And it's much different when players are coming to the ballpark relaxed and comfortable.
2-2 in the pitch. Swinging a bouncer, foul again by Williams. You know, the other thing, too, on the other side of the coin, Reggie, as the offensive team coming up in the 9th, and you see that guy coming in, and, you know, oh, geez, you know, not again. You know, I mean, you see that guy every night in the series. He's not one of those guys that you might see two out of 3 nights. You're going to see that guy every night if you've got the lead. 2-2 pitch. A little bit low and outside, and it's 3-2.
I think a lot of credit needs to be given to pitching coaches, to managers for keeping those people fresh, giving them the right days off at a certain time so that they are fresh. They don't have tired arms. They don't get weak and things of that nature.
Here's the pitch. Williams rolls it foul again. Well, you got a good one here in Mel Stottlemyre, a guy who was a former Yankee pitcher himself, an outstanding pitcher, and you've hit against him. I know that. You played. Did you play with him?
I did not play with him.
You hit against him.
Yes, I know that. Against him. The nice thing about Mel is it's really easy to see that he has compassion. And when pitchers are struggling or we're having a difficult time.
Williams sends one to right. Going to be an easy play out there for Strawberry.
When they're having a difficult time, they know that he cares about them, and that has meaning to these young people.
You know, Joe's whole coaching staff seems to be like that, Reggie. Don Zimmer, I mean, a guy you've known forever. So have I. Tony Cloninger.
Sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah, guys that, you know, are really...
Stottlemyre, Dolph Chambliss.
Willie,
people.
How can you find better people? And, I mean, you know the other thing, too, Stottlemyre is a former Yankee. Willie Randolph, a former Yankee great.
Chambliss.
Yeah, Chris Chambliss, another guy, a hitting coach who's so easy, and not to take anything away from other coaches. I don't mean that by any means. But I just feel that there are some managers, here's the pitch inside on Miski, there are some managers who mold their coaching staffs around their own personalities.
Absolutely. Joe Torre is a very calm guy with a lot of confidence. He's got very strong character. He has great presence. He's a real man's man. And that makes the younger players that we have, and really they are kids, 21 years old to 30, 35, some of them a little bit older.
Yeah.
But most of the kids are in their early 20s, and they need people that believe in them and give them confidence.
2-0 on Matt Miski. I should say Cirillo swings and bounces foul.
You know, you take a look at your people over in Milwaukee. I know that Sal Bandar played with Sal. And when I was a player, I kind of looked at Sal as a big brother. I think he's maybe 1 or 2 years older than I was, but he had the kind of presence and the kind of character that, you know, I was a flighty kid that was really emotional, up and down, had highs and lows, and Sal was a real steadying influence for me. And Phil Garner is also the type of guy.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Jeff Cirillo. We're visiting with Reggie Jackson.
You know, I can look at your ball club and see that it is getting better. It is improving. They've made some trades, picked up some acquisitions, and it's nice to see that because in a couple of years, bless the city's soul, they have voted for the new ballpark and a brand new facility, and that's going to help.
I think so, without a doubt, Reg. I really do. And you know, there are some players that some clubs can't afford anymore. Cirillo drops a soft little fly that's going to fall in right for a base hit. There's some clubs that can't, due to circumstances, sometimes beyond their control, can't afford what can be afforded here in New York. So, you know, to make the deals for the guys like the Greg Vaughns and guys who are big salaried players and take a shot, take a flyer on a couple of young kids and go that way and let your fans know that down the road, a couple of years, it might take a couple of years, but we'll be back.
Well, I'm not so sure that the players you got, I really had big affection and a real closeness to Bob Wickman.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, he's another guy. I mean, they were happy with him. Here's a ball low and inside, getting by Posada, and it's going to be a wild pitch. Charge to Pavlis. Runner moves to second. That's David Nilsson.
I like your player Jaha. I like John Jaha a lot, and I was talking to him the night before the ball game, and he had sent a bat boy over to see if I would autograph a couple of balls. And I told him, I said, why didn't you come over?
He looks like Joe Torre's kid.
And he said, gee, I didn't want to ask. I said, you're talking about it. I said, you've got 100 RBIs, don't you? Said, yes. I said, you got 33 home runs. I said, you've got every right in the world to ask me for an autograph. I said, I know who you are.
He's a good guy. David Nilsson almost got hit by that wild pitch anyway. Anyway, it moves Cirillo to second. Visiting with Reggie Jackson, good friend and a longtime friend. One of baseball's all-time great home run hitters.
All the way back in the days of Mr. Belvedere.
You got that right. Here's the pitch down low and inside. You know, we worked together on Monday Night Baseball.
Yes, I remember that show that you had, Mr. Belvedere. You had about 10 or 12 Hall of Famers on the show.
Yeah, you were there.
Your friends.
Yeah.
And I was not in the Hall of Fame. I was retired. And all the guys
Well, you weren't at that time.
All the guys there were making fun of me. I don't know how you got here. You're not in the Hall of Fame. And I really took a ribbing. And at that time, everybody got the same money.
That was a dream show.
It was kind of an honor to be selected for the show. And everybody was really thrilled.
Yeah, we had you were there, Mickey, Henry Aaron,
Mays,
Willie Mays, Johnny Bench, Ernie Banks. Yeah, you guys were my, no, Harmon Killebrew.
Killebrew was there.
You guys were my dream team. We played against my kids' Little League team, and I hit a grand slammer, which is really a fantasy, against my own kid. Here's a base on balls issued to David Nilsson, and the batter is going to be John Jahan. Here's Mel Stottlemyre coming out to talk with Dave Powell. Yeah, that was fun. I remember that.
Yeah, they were talking the night before the game about Phil Garner was saying, boy, you really look good. You look just like you could play. And I said, yeah, it's just looks. I didn't fool myself. And I said, gosh, you know how I feel. You know what I look like, don't you?
You know what? They don't play those games. We don't have those games anymore. The old timers games. They don't do that anymore.
We had one a couple of weeks ago.
They have. Well, the Yankees have it, but I mean that's one of the biggest days of the year here. But other clubs they don't do that anymore. They don't. I don't know why. I don't know, insurance reasons or whatever.
But fans get a great kick out.
Oh heck yeah! I love that. I really do. But this here and. Now this to me is the only one. I mean, the Dodgers have an old timers day, but this here's a swing and a bouncer hit near second, grabbed by Andy Fox. He'll step on the bag to retire the side. You want to stick around for another half inning?
I sure will.
Yeah? Okay, good. The Brewers get nothing here in the top half of the seventh, and at the end of 6 1/2, it's the Yankees 6 and the Brewers 2. In baseball, for a player to stretch a single into a double, it takes smart base running and good speed. When it comes to stretching your food dollars, it's as easy as a round tripper to your local Pick and Save food store. That's right. At Pick and Save, you can stack your grocery cart way up while your take total stays way low. So go ahead, lace them up and run through the aisles at your nearby Pick and Save food store. Because at Pick and Save, when it comes to price, they're always talking low. What are you doing?
I'm shaking out the carpet. The vacuum broke.
But it's wall to wall.
I didn't say it'd be easy.
Okay, well, look right now at Sears Brand Central, a Kenmore 12-amp vacuum with Power Path system and Micron air filtration is just $129.99. Save $50, or get a Kenmore 12-amp upright with Micron air filtration and swivel hose for just $169.99. Save $100.
Incredible!
Well, yeah, they are at their lowest prices ever.
No, I mean, look at all the stuff underneath here. Oh, my goodness.
Sale ends September 28th at Sears Brand Central.
Aunt Martha.
Oh, prices may vary in Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico.
Boy.
Wherever there's a pool, there's always a flirt. Whenever there is school, there'll always be homework. Whenever there's a beat, there's always a drum. Whenever there's fun, there's always Coca-Cola, yeah. Always Coca-Cola. The stars will always shine, the birds will always sing. As long as there is thirst, there's always the real thing. Coca-Cola Classic is always the one. Whenever there is fun, there's always Coca-Cola, yeah. Coca-Cola, always Coca-Cola.
The seventh inning stretch is being brought to you by Pick and Save, where you'll always be able to stretch your food dollars. Reggie Jackson, guess who's hitting? Is sitting in with us. I'll tell you what, I'm glad for this guy too. Here's the pitch. Strawberry takes one inside a ball. Here's a guy, Reggie, that I know you've known for a long, long time and has been one of the big stars in baseball, and had his great years with the New York Mets, and has had personal problems that have been well documented. We know all about that, but here's a guy who's come back and has become a real favorite here in Yankee Stadium.
Yes, he has. The one thing about the New York people is they do gravitate and do support to their own, and they do feel like Darryl, they feel like Dwight Gooden, belong to them, and it is nice that George given them the opportunity to come back here.
Here's a swing and a roller up along the first base side.
David Nilsson let that ball roll.
You know, I do believe, Bob, that Darryl Strawberry is going to get better and better. He missed almost 2 years of baseball.
Yep.
And so he needs some at-bats. He probably needs 300, 350 to 400 at-bats to get his game back together. But once he does, the way that the pitching is in the game now, I think he has a chance to hit 40 home runs again. I really do.
I'll tell you what, he's still got the stroke. I know that. He's still strong. And I'll tell you, the fans here, they love him, man. I mean, they listen to this crowd.
Yes, they do.
Every time he comes to the plate or makes a catch. Check swing, he went around, I think. He did. That's going to be a strikeout to Strawberry.
Well, ever since they've had the Bronx Bombers here, from the days of Babe Ruth to Lou Gehrig to Joe DiMaggio to Mickey to Maris, I mean, right on up through, they've always been known as the Bronx Bombers. They're proud of it, and anytime someone can hit the ball out of the ballpark, they support it and love it, and this is their right now.
Yep. Here's another one, Cecil Fielder, who has 38 for the year, 12 as a Yankee. He's got a couple of hits, a double, a run scored, and a single tonight.
Now, he's pressed a little bit since he's come over you.
Oh, it's a little different story here, than in Detroit. You got that right. The pitch to Cecil is a strike 0-1.
But I do think that Cecil does have the makeup to be in New York and to succeed in New York. Again, it does take some players a little bit longer than others. Once they get a full spring training and get off right from the start in the beginning, they'll settle in a little bit better.
One strike, and Wickman coming back, low and outside, and it's even now, 1-1. Yeah, Cecil's such an easygoing guy. I don't see him having problems here. He kind of lets things roll along, and he doesn't bother anybody. He goes out and does his job every day. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. He's said numerous times while with Detroit that he wanted a chance to play on a championship and play in postseason, and he's going to get it here with the Yankees.
Yes, he is, and we always do know that he can get hot for 3 or 4 days and a couple of ball games by himself, and that's what you look for from him.
You got that right. He can carry a club. You're right. The 1-2 pitch, half swing, I think he went. Strike 3, Cecil Fielder is gone.
Hey, you see those kind of swings there, you can really, from a guy being a little bit too anxious and trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And again, once he settles and gets a bit comfortable, he doesn't have to try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. All he has to do is center the ball.
Yeah. I mean, that guys like him and Strawberry, guys like yourself, you guys had such nice, easy swings, and I mean, it was all right there. The ball was there. I mean, you didn't have to swing from downtown every time because you guys were, I remember, and so do baseball fans around the country. Remember some of the big home runs that you hit, and some of the longest home runs, and that was part of Reggie Jackson. It's part of Cecil Fielder. All the big home run guys do it, and it used to aggravate me when fans used to get on you all the time on the road in our ballpark in Milwaukee. Geez, stop, man, because it drives him on. It makes him worse. Worse, I'm talking about it's going to hit you harder and deeper and longer. The pitch, swinging a drive in the center by Charlie Hayes. Going to be playable, though, for Gerald Williams. And the inning is over. Reg, once again, thanks for stopping in, buddy. It's good to see you, and I'll see you next week for sure. And
I look forward to seeing and say hello to all my fans back there in Milwaukee. I did enjoy playing there, and a big hello to the big Italians.
All right, buddy. Thanks, Reggie. Talk to you later on. Thanks, pal. At the end of 7 complete, it's 6-2 New York. It's the 8th inning. Thanks to Reggie Jackson for stopping in for a couple of minutes and telling us about himself. No, I'm kidding. He's a good guy. Red's a good guy. Anyway, the ace on, so's Jim Powell. All right, thank you, Bob. Dave Pavlis back to work. Newfield grounds one fouled on the first base side. The first pitch had missed outside. It's 1-1. Newfield, Miski, and Loretta do up here in the 8th inning. Getting late. It's been a bad day so far, but a nice 5-run rally here would make the day look a lot different, wouldn't it? Newfield has fanned a couple of times and walked. Fastball is hit foul again down the right side. Ted Hendry with an exaggerated motion to rule that ball foul. Many in the crowd of 36,000 plus here at Yankee Stadium have wandered on home. Ricky Bonas getting loose in the bullpen for the Yankees, along with left-hander Dale Polley. The 1-2 pitch. Newfield fouls it away. 6 runs on 8 hits for New York. 2 runs on 7 hits for Milwaukee. Game 1 went to the Yankees, 19-2. The set on the 1-2 pitch. Low and outside, 2-2. Baltimore has won that game at Fenway. The Orioles beat Boston tonight 6-2 behind Rick Krivda. Armando Benitez the save, his second. Ground ball foul, third base side. It was a 3-2 game going to the ninth. Mark Parent iced the game for the Orioles with a 3-run homer, his 9th. Ball outside, 3-2 now on Newfield. Mark looking for his first hit tonight. And a long day for him. 0 for 5 as he stands in here in the 8th inning. The stretch by Pavlis and the pitch. Low and outside, he walked him. Well, the Brewers need base runners here, trailing by 4, and they get one of them. Now Matt Miesque doubled his last time. He had fanned the first 2 times up. Cleveland did beat Minnesota 6-3 the final. So even if the Brewers are swept here tonight, they will lose only a half game to the Twins and will remain in third in the Central by 1 full game. That's the good news. The bad news is a loss in this game here would eliminate the Brewers' chances of getting back to 500. Checked his swing and fouled it off. Chicago is losing at home to Kansas City 6-2 in the 8th. If the White Sox can't rally back, they're in big trouble. Seattle has already beaten California 11-2. So if that score holds up, first the 0-1 pitch, fastball outside. Then the wild card will have Baltimore in front by a game and a half on Seattle. Chicago will drop to 2.5 back. And would have to vault 2 teams to get to the wild card. That would be tough. 1-1 pitch. Swinging a pop-up right side, foul ground. Will it stay in play for Andy Fox? No. Back about 6 rows. Boston with the loss tonight is now done. You can finally put a fork in the Red Sox. Did pretty well to stay alive this late in the year. Not eliminated until, 5 days before the end of the season, September the 25th. Many of us eliminated them back in April. 1-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball foul, third base side. Chris Bando steps out of the way. He hasn't had much action over in the third base coach's box tonight. Brewers got 2 runs in the first game, 1 on a Jaha home run, the other on a sac fly by Burnitz. There's a ball inside. And evens the count at 2-2. 1 on, nobody out, top of the 8th. Brewers down 6-2. In this game, the Brewers pushed across an unearned run in the first inning. Swing and a miss, and a fastball right in on his hands. He struck him out. Good tailing fastball from Pavlis, and it came right into his kitchen. Miesque swung through it. Third time he's fanned tonight. Second strikeout for Pavlis. 1 out for Loretta. Loretta has grounded out twice and has walked. And we'll get a pinch hitter now for Loretta. Jeremy Burnitz will bat for Loretta.
Attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen. Batting for Loretta. Number 20. Jeremy Burnitz.
Burnitz in game one officially was 0 for 2. He did have the RBI on the sac fly. And Joe Torre's out to the mound. He's going to make a pitching change. Dave Pavlis is done. And I would imagine he's going to the southpaw Dale Polly here to face Burnitz. While the pitching change is made, we'll send it back to our stations with your score. New York 6 and Milwaukee 2.
Their sleds say yes, but their offer says no. No money down, no interest, and no payments till January 1st, 1997, when you purchase a new 1997 Skidoo snowmobile. Stop at Attigo Yamaha Skidoo today for the Skidoo Super Celebration 97. Hurry in and receive a great deal on your trade-in and get a free video while supplies last. The sleds say yes, and you should too at Attigo Yamaha Skidoo, Highway 45 Attigo. Subject to credit approval and applicable terms and conditions. 16.8% APR in USA. With 50-cent minimum finance charge. Offer available September 1st to October 31st, 1996. See dealer for complete details. Gear up for the hunting season with a trip to your nearest Kawasaki dealer. Right now, when you buy an all-new Prairie 400 with automatic transmission, you get a $200 gift certificate from Cabela's or 9.9% APR financing for 12 months. The all-new Kawasaki Prairie 400 with automatic transmission, plus a free Cabela's gift certificate or 9.9% financing. It's at Burns Kawasaki, Highway 45 North Attigo. Standard Good Times card APR applies after 12 months. Kawasaki ATVs are recommended only for persons 16 and older. Dealer incentives may vary. Offer ends December 31st. All ATV riders should take a training course. The Attigo Area Shopper's Guide has everything you need to present your company with style. Add impact to your advertising with specialty items for sales promotions, customer relations, employee incentives, and more. Advertising specialties are more than t-shirts and coffee mugs with your name on them. The Shopper's Guide has thousands of items that can be customized for your business or organization. To get the most for your advertising dollar, call Gene Tatro at 623-5024 today.
Tired of the old leaky tent but love to camp in the great outdoors? Midwest RV and Homes would like to invite you to their Hitch a Trailer and Pitch the Tent sale. See the 1996 Coleman Destiny Series folding trailers. They're lightweight and easy to tow. You can hitch up to a Coleman Tow or Laredo folding trailer starting at the low price of $32.95. Stop by today at Midwest RV and Homes for a no-obligation demonstration. That's Midwest RV and Homes at the junction of 29 East and J, where there's a whole lot of hitching and pitching going on.
Midwest RV and Homes.
So it'll be lefty against lefty here. Polly against Burnitz. Dale Polly, one of the several lefties that the Yankees have tried to develop this year. They have desperately lacked a left-hander out of the bullpen. Billy Brewer is currently on the roster. He's pretty much a AAA pitcher who they've tried to force into a role in the major leagues. Just a situational lefty. That's all they're looking for. A guy who can come in a spot like this and get out a left-handed batter in a tight spot. But Polly has struggled. Billy Brewer has struggled. Graham Lloyd, acquired from the Brewers, they thought would be the answer, but apparently because of the bone spur that they've now discovered in the elbow of Graham Lloyd, he can't throw the curveball and thus has been rendered ineffective against left-handers. So Lloyd has an ERA of 18 as a Yankee. And there's some question about whether any of those will make the postseason roster. They might just go with Kenny Rogers out of the bullpen. There's a strike called on the outside corner to Burnitz. Polly a 1-2 record in 30 games and an ERA near 8, 7.97. 31-year-old rookie. The 0-1 to Burnitz. Breaking ball outside. He doesn't have the big bender that managers like to see coming out of the bullpen. That big breaking curveball that can get the knees to buckle on a like-handed hitter. The 1-1 to Burnitz. That's a strike on the inside corner. Burnett's for the season is 2 out of 8 against lefties. He hasn't faced many. Faced none, really, with Cleveland. The Brewers are working him in slowly against Southpaws, trying to see what he can do. Newfield, the runner at first, 1 out, swing and a miss at a curveball. He struck him out. Pitch out of the strike zone. Burnett's went fishing. Paulie with a strikeout, the 8th K by Yankee pitching in this game. So 2 gone with the runner aboard for Jose Valentin, who is 0 for 3. 1 out of 5 in the twin bill. New York had 8 strikeouts in the opener. Make it 9. Valentin bats right against the left-hander. The pitch. Fastball way outside. This is the 3rd different inning in this ball game. The Brewers have had the leadoff runner aboard and haven't scored any of them so far. Milwaukee needs a 2-out rally here. They trail it 6-2 to the Brewers. The pitch. Fastball way outside, 2-0. 260 average for Valentin, 24 home runs, 92 RBIs. Still not out of the question. He could end up with 25 home runs, maybe 100 RBIs. He needs 8 in the final 3 games, plus whatever is left of this one. The next pitch, swinging a high fly ball to center. Can of corn for Rivera. Started back, now loping in, makes the grab, inning over. No runs, no hits. Leadoff walk is squandered. We go to the bottom half of the 8th. It's 6-2 New York.
Alrighty, class. Today's question: how do you know when your brakes need replacing? A, your car shakes when you use them. B, you're using both feet to stop. Or C, you just drilled the person in front of you. If you can relate to any of those answers, now would be a good time to visit Parsons of Antigo Service Department for their $99 brake special for most cars and light trucks. And that includes a complimentary hand wash and vacuum. Parsons Service Department, it's an extra insurance policy for your vehicle. GM Good Wrench Service, they want your business.
Not all propane dealers are alike. Call Draeger Propane today and ask about their low prices. 623-4518. Call Draeger Propane and ask how you could qualify for a free complimentary tank. 623-4518. Call and ask Draeger Propane if they service your area. I'll bet they do. They cover a 50-mile radius of Antigo. For lower propane prices, the Keep Full program, and an offer of a free complimentary tank, what do you have to lose? A higher propane bill? Draeger Propane. Call today, 623-4518. Yamaha wants to give you the hook.
Get a $400 Warren winch for only $69.95.
The line.
When you purchase a new Kodiak 4-wheel drive, Big Bear 2-wheel drive, or Big Bear 4-wheel drive.
The sinker.
You must order before November 30th. Don't wait, because supplies of these Warren winches are limited.
So hurry into Antigo Yamaha Highway 45 and see the great line of Yamaha ATVs today. ATVs are recommended only for those aged 16 years and older. Yamaha recommends an approved training course. See Antigo Yamaha for details or call 1-800-447-4700. If your house is buzzing because your screens are letting in too many winged pests, take them to the Glass Company. Your home will be cool and airy without the flies and mosquitoes. The Glass Company, Highway 45 on Antigo's South
Yankee
Side.
Stadium, along with our producer-engineer Ken Sommerfeld and Bob Uecker. Jim Powell back with you. Been a long night for the Brewers, literally and figuratively. Milwaukee lost the opener 19-2 and trails in the nightcap 6-2. This game, I'm sure Phil Garner would find particularly disappointing to lose. New York's lineup is riddled with names like Soho, Rivera, who stands in now, Posada, Aldrete, Fox, Leyritz. Not many of the front liners are on the diamond for New York in this game. Wickman back to work. Sinking fastball missed outside. One reason why New York wanted that trade to be rescinded was they would love to have Wickman for the postseason. They apparently have decided that Graham Lloyd can't help them in the postseason, swinging a foul away. But they know Wickman can. He has faced 4 Yankees since coming on in the 6th and has retired all 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Starting with Brewers pitching coach Don Rowe earlier tonight. about Scott Carl, the starter in this game for the Brewers, who didn't have great stuff tonight. He allowed 6 runs on 8 hits in 5 2/3 innings. Ball low and outside. And not to make an excuse for Carl, but we mentioned earlier, he has been sick as a dog the last couple of days. And I could not find him before the game today to ask him how he felt, which, swing and a miss. 2-2 now on Rivera. So I would imagine he wasn't feeling too well. He was not out in the clubhouse where he ordinarily is before games. But Carl has had a good year. 2-2 pitch outside. Tonight's game notwithstanding. He came into this game with a 13-8 record and an ERA of 4.78. And we were talking, Don Rohn and I, before the games tonight about Scott Carl, and Don Rohn brought up a comparison with Andy Pettit. There's a line drive to center on the run. Williams makes the running grab. Hit right on the button by Rivera, who has lined out a couple of times in this game. One away in the 8th for Posada, who picked up his first major league hit in the 6th inning and later scored. Switch hitter batting left against the right-hander. But Don Rose said, you know what? If I had my choice between Pettit and Carl, I'd just soon have Scott Carl. Andy Pettit's had a great year, in particular in terms of the wins and losses. Ball outside. Pettit 21-8. His ERA is 3.90. But you look across the board at his stats, and yeah, they're impressive for Pettit, but Carl's numbers are pretty impressive also. Swinging a ground ball to first, backing up. Nilsson gloves it. Now he runs to the bag for the out. 3 unassisted. Wickman is retired now, 6 in a row. And it'll bring up Aldretti, who is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Pettit has thrown 219 innings. Carl has thrown 202 coming into this game. Pettit's allowed 227 hits, so opponents are hitting 272 against him. Carl's given up 212 hits, opponents hitting 269 against him. Swinging a ground ball, first base side, foul. Nilsson again into foul ground that time to try and make the play. A couple of fans fell out of the stands also trying to come up with it. One will be dragged back off the field for accidentally falling out of the stands by a security guard. And there are security people here everywhere. Hundreds of police, literally hundreds, that flooded onto the field after the Game 1 clincher to try and maintain order. One fan has come onto the field during this game, and now that one just innocently fell out trying to grab a ground ball, and he's muscled off the field. Ball outside, 1-1. They're not taking chances here in New York tonight, and who could blame them? It doesn't take a clincher to cause a riot in this town. 1-1 pitch. Poked foul and out of play. Pettit has walked 71 in his work this year. Carl has walked 70. Pettit has a few more strikeouts. He's got 160 to 116, so that's one area where Pettit does have an advantage. Pettit's allowed 28 home runs. Scott Carl, or Carl rather, is allowed 28. Little nubber right side. Wickman up. Flips it to first in time. Flipped it out of the glove to Nilsson. And the inning is over. 1-2-3 go the Yanks in the 8th. We go to the 9th. Brewers need to rally. They trail it 6-2.
So, Bob, you ready? You betcha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
No, Bob
14,
is not
16,
reading
17,
the
18,
odds
20,
for a new Wisconsin lottery game. He is, however, trying to count up to 1 million.
Instead, maybe I'll try by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,
You see, the Wisconsin lottery has a new game called Daily Millions, where you choose 6 numbers for a chance to win $1 million, all in cash, all at once.
Oh, this is taking too long. I'll try it by 100. Yes, 100, 200, 300,
Think
400,
about it.
500,
$1 million, all
all at once. That's a big number. 1,100, 1,200.
Bob.
Hold on, I'm almost
Bob.
there. What?
Hey, we're almost done. There's no time to count that high.
Oh, but I've only got 998,900 numbers left to count.
That's a lot, Bob.
Ooh, but it's fun.
I'll tell you what. Instead, why don't you tell the folks about the odds of winning?
Oh, the odds. Yeah. Daily Millions. The odds of winning $2 1 in 12, $5 1 in 99, $100 1 in 1,912, $5,000 1 in 81,237, and $1 million 1 in 9,261,000. All prices equal 45.1% of sales.
Here's a clever summer cool down. Plymouth's Clearance Chillers, where the 96s make way for new 97s. Now, qualified buyers get 0 down and no monthly payments for 90 days on new Plymouth Voyagers. You get easy out-roller seats and dual airbags at no extra charge, as well as the option of a second sliding door. And right now, you can cool off with great clearance prices on Voyagers, starting at only $17,195, including destination. In fact, Plymouth Voyager is the lowest priced minivan you can buy. That's a base sticker price comparison. Standard equipment levels vary. You can even splash in up to $1,300 in option package values. So chill out with the Plymouth Clearance Chillers at the minivan store. It's another clever idea at your Plymouth dealer. Sticker price excludes tax. Dealers negotiate own prices. Limited supply of base models. Tax, title, license, and insurance due in advance for delayed payment offer. Package values based on total value of package items versus usual discounted MSRP. And always wear your seatbelt.
Mariano Rivera comes on to close it out for the Yankees with New York leading 6-2 in the 9th inning. Jesse Levis will pinch hit for Mike Matheny to open the frame, just to continue and complete that comparison between Carl and Pettit. And I'm sure, in part, Don Rose just feeling loyalty to his own guy. He loves Scott Carl. He's a battler and has given his team a chance to win almost every time out this season. He has really been remarkably consistent for a young pitcher, period, and for a young left-hander. Phenomenal comes to mind. Most young lefties are all over the place from one start to the next. Turner Ward has a bat in the on-deck circle, but the home runs are comparable. The hits per inning are comparable. The walks per inning pitched are comparable between the two. The ERAs are a little different, but here's the pitch. It's a fastball strike outside corner. Boy, Rivera throws hard. That ball popping the mid of Pisana. You can hear it all the way up here. Might be able to hear it back in Milwaukee and in Wisconsin. 0-1. Fastball strike inside corner. Pettit's a 3.90 ERA and Carl at 4.78. That's a pretty good difference. 0-2 pitch. Swinging a foul back on the play. Levis made contact, but not much. But Don Rose saying, hey, I'd like to have both of them. But if I could only have one, why not Scott Carl? Their numbers are not that different. Subtle differences. Hot shot to third. Backhand pickup. Hayes on one hop. Throws to first in time. 1 out in the 9th. Now Gerald Williams will be the batter. And it's Turner Ward that will bat for Gerald Williams. Cirillo has a bat in the on-deck circle for the Brewers. Looks like he will hit for himself. Well, there's some movement afoot these days to tout Mariano Rivera for the Cy Young, if not the MVP. Swinging a pop-up on the first pitch on the infield. Soho, the shortstop, puts it in his pocket. Quickly, 2 gone in the 9th. And now Cirillo, 2 out of 4 in this game. The crowd, or what's left of it, rises to its feet here at Yankee Stadium. Their team has clinched the East today. And they've had about a nearly 7-hour party here at Yankee Stadium. More confetti coming down from the upper deck, wafting across the field. Banners all over the place. The bleachers are still packed. Rivera 8-3 on the year, 2.04 ERA and 31 hits. Only 34 walks. He throws strikes. and 127 strikeouts coming in this game. Over a strikeout per inning. The 0-1. Swinging a foul back. Cy Young, I don't know. Opponents hitting a .188 against him. 1 home run allowed in over 105 innings. 106. The crowd rises up on 0-2 on Cirillo. Toilet paper flying through the air. And the pitch. Swinging a hot shot to second. Short hop stopped by Fox. Throws to first. And the doubleheader sweep is complete. The Yankees take 2 from Milwaukee. And the police flood back onto the field again here at Yankee Stadium. Hundreds of them coming out of all the gates. Mariano Rivera wraps it up, and the Brewers go down to the ninth, 1-2-3. The final score here at Yankee Stadium after a 19-2 outcome in the first game. The Yankees win again, 6-2.
Well, I'd like to thank all of you for coming to our car repair anxiety group session. Now, we were talking about Bob's problem with his muffler. Bob, how are you coping?
Oh, I'm fine now. I took my car to Mike's Service Center. They put in a new muffler right away. They're as low as $24.95 at Mike's Service Center. Do they do brake jobs? As low as $24.95 with organic brake pads. Mike's will even pick up and deliver your car within the city of Attigo.
End your car repair anxiety. Take it to Mike's Service Center on Superior Street, Attigo. Call 623-3294. Where's everybody going? Doesn't anyone want to talk anymore? Tomahawk Heavy-Duty Truck Parts is proud to announce their new rebuilding shop will open soon. Transmissions, drive shafts, differentials, steering gearboxes, all are in stock or rebuilt while you wait. All work has a 1-year warranty with unlimited mileage. Call 1-800-333-4295 for more information. There are plenty of September specials, too. Truck fronts for most brand names, toolboxes starting at only $245, hydraulic inline live swivels rated to 3,000 PSI, road blazer cam chains, and so much more. Call Tomahawk Heavy-Duty Truck Parts now, 1-800-333-4295. Hit the trails this winter with one of the incredible new machines from Arctic Cat. Herb Sales and Service, Business Highway 51 Tomahawk has the 97 models in stock, set up and ready for you. Stop in their showroom and check out the exciting new features and designs. If you purchase a new Arctic Cat before September 30th, you get $300 in Cat Cash, or choose no money down, no interest till 97. Arctic Cat sleds and Herb Sales and Service make winter exciting.
Sales and service with grown-up girls and boys. Get all their wonderful toys.
A sparkling sun over up with 1 error for the Brewers. 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. The winning pitcher, Kenny Rogers, is 12-8, 6-4 lifetime against Milwaukee. Scott Carl, the loser, is 13-9. He is 2-3 in his career against New York. 2 hours, 52 minutes the time of game. 37,947 the official paid attendance as the Yankees win the first game today, 19-2, and they take this ball game by a final of 6-2.
Well, they proved it was no fluke in the opener, Jimmy, as they came back to sweep the doubleheader. What's the turning point in Game 2?
I think that straw man homer in the third inning really got the crowd back involved in this game. It extended the New York lead from 2-1 to 4-1, and the Brewers never could overcome that deficit.
All right, and the post-game celebration continues for Yankee fans. And they've been relatively quiet here. Nothing on the field, which is a good sign. And the celebration goes on in the New York clubhouse, and deservedly so for Joe Torre in his first year as the Yankee skipper to win the division. So we will return. We will return to Yankee Stadium to wind up our broadcast. And once again, our congratulations to the Yankees. They've done it, and deservedly so, as I said, for Joe Torre, who was under a lot of stress this year and a lot of tough times, personal things with Joe, and he's being interviewed here on New York television, and it's I know it's a happy day for Joe. Brother Frank awaits a transplant, a heart transplant, in a New York hospital, and deservedly so, for a good guy, great guy, in Joe Torre. We'll be back to Yankee Stadium after this on the Brewers Radio Network.
Hey, guys, you see the game? Did you? Yeah, I was there. Bottom of the ninth. 2 outs, bases loaded. Johnson steps up to the plate, knocks some dirt off the spikes, and breaks his bat. And before he can call a timeout, the pitcher fires one in. Without missing a beat, Johnson picks up the catcher by the ankles, swings with everything he's got, and launches one towards deep center. The ball keeps going higher and higher, till finally it bonks the Seagull. The bird goes into a tailspin and hits the center fielder in the head. And he's so dizzy, he runs right through the MGD light sign.
I don't believe it.
Why?
I didn't know Miller Genuine Draft made a light.
Game over if you don't know about MGD Light, the refreshing cold filter taste of Miller Genuine Draft that won't fill you up.
Did he score?
No. How that Bengal Tiger got into the stadium, I'll never know, but man, it was ugly.
MGD Light, the lighter side of MGD. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
If an indoor remodeling project is on your schedule for fall, you'll want to check out all the Red Devil products available at your neighborhood Hardware Hank. The 11.5 by 10 1/4 inch grout applicator is made of high-impact plastic and is completely disposable. Its easy grip handle makes applying grout to tile joints, tubs, and showers a breeze. For fall projects or everyday chores, you'll always find help at Hardware Hank.
Got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
The Brewers Clubhouse has the best selection of Brewers product in the area. Play Brush Pack to win and get up to 50% off Major League merchandise. Ask for details at the Brewers Clubhouse store.
Before we continue from Yankee Stadium, 10 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. This is the Brewers Radio Network.
WRLO, Antigo, Crandon, Rhinelander. The bankroll has climbed to $400 this week at Reeves Family Foods on Lincoln Street, Rhinelander. Get your card punched today.
Well, the Brewers will take tomorrow off before opening their final series of the season against the Detroit Tigers on Friday. Airtime is 5:30 for Jim's On Deck show, followed by Game 1 of that weekend series when Ben McDonald hooks up against Todd Van Poppel. Until then, this is Bob Uecker along with Jim Powell. Our producer and engineer, Ken Sommerfeld. Inviting you to stay tuned for Jim's post-game show. And until Friday evening, bidding you a very pleasant good evening from Yankee Stadium here in New York. Once again, the final scores tonight as the Yankees win the East. They sweep a doubleheader. First game, 19-2. Second game, 6-2. So long, everybody. You've been listening to the Brewers Radio Network.
We are here to entertain you. There's excitement in the air. You can feel it. So many good times to share. You can see it. Action and excitement are coming through. So much more for you. Let us entertain you. Rolling casinos. We are here to entertain you.
Do you know the dealer that offers the area's largest Ford vehicle inventory, indoor shopping and display of any unit on the lot, same-day delivery, pickup and delivery for service, free wash and vac on all service vehicles, $15.99 oil and filter specials year-round, and has been recognized as a distinguished award winner for customer satisfaction? Give up? It's your regional value leader, of course, Northwood's Fort Lincoln Mercury in Rhinelander, and they offer so much more. Come visit their new dealership and see why they become the regional value leader. Northwood's Fort Lincoln Mercury, Highway 47 and K Rhinelander, your regional value leader. Not all propane dealers are alike. Call Draeger Propane today and ask about their low prices. 623-4518. Call Draeger Propane and ask how you could qualify for a free complimentary tank. 623-4518. Call and ask Draeger Propane if they service your area. I'll bet they do. They cover a 50-mile radius of Antigo. For lower propane prices, the Keep Full program, and an offer of a free complimentary tank, what do you have to lose? A higher propane bill? Draeger Propane. Call today, 623-4518. Now, let me see if I got this straight. The Lac View Desert Casino has a tailgate for every Packer game?
Right. Starts an hour before kickoff.
A tailgate party on Sundays for all 3 games, plus Monday Night Football.
Right again. They have free food like brats, potato salad, chips and salsa, coleslaw. It's just like an outdoor tailgate party, but this one's in the Thunderbird Sports Bar with 50-cent tappers and TVs all over the place. Plus, you can register to win a 4x4 Ford Ranger from Northwoods Ford.
Let's go! It's time to tailgate at the Lac View Desert Casino.
105.3 FM, your sports connection.
Welcome to the 10th Inning Show. This is Jim Powell from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. The 10th Inning Show is being brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company and by the Coca-Cola Company. Well, we don't have much good news to bring you tonight. The Brewers lose the opener of this 2-game series and the doubleheader today with New York 19-2, and then lose the nightcap 6-2. So if we don't have good news to talk about, let's change the subject and go to the scoreboard, beginning in the National League, where Florida shuts out Atlanta tonight 3-0 behind Kevin Brown and the bullpen. Brown improves to 17-11. His ERA will remain under 2 with the win tonight. Rob Nin, the save, is 34th. Brown continues to make a compelling case to be the National League Cy Young Award winner, although John Smoltz has some pretty good credentials as well. Tom Glavine, the losing pitcher for Atlanta, he is 15-10. Kurt Abbott, a home run, he is 8th. In 11 innings, St. Louis wins in Pittsburgh 8-7. Bailey, the winner, is 5-2. Matthews, the save, his 6th. Maselli, the loser, is 2-10. Cincinnati over Chicago 4-3. Burba, the winner, is 11-13. Brantley, his 43rd save. Foster, the loser, he is 7-6. McRae and Green had home runs in that game. Philadelphia wins at home against Montreal 3-1 the final. Bad loss for the Expos, who are already behind the Padres by a game and a half and now 2 games in the battle for the wild card. West, the winner, is 2-2. Batalico, the save, is 33rd. Paniagua picks up the loss for Montreal. Bottom of the 10th inning in Houston, 4-4 game between the Mets and the Astros. Husky, Franco, and Johnson, all with home runs for the Mets in that game. That's Matt Franco, no, not John. Bottom of the 2nd inning at Chavez Ravine at San Francisco, 1 and Los Angeles, nothing. Bottom of the 2nd inning in San Diego, the Padres in front of the Rockies by a score of 1-0 as well. In the American League, it was Toronto 13 and Detroit 11. Brow, the winner. Timlin, the save. Cummings, the loser. He is 3-2. Delgado and Sprague with home runs for Toronto. Pride, Nevin, and Clark went deep for the Tigers. Detroit has not won at home in their last 14 games, and the Brewers are next in for 3 this weekend. Seattle wins in California 11-2. Torres, the winner, is 3-2. Bosky, the loser, is 12-11. Cora, Hollins, and Wilson with home runs for the M's. Velarde, a home run for California. But Baltimore keeps pace with a 6-2 win in Boston, eliminating the Red Sox from the wild card. Krivda with the win. Benitez the save. Wakefield the loser. Palmeiro and Parent with home runs for Baltimore. Pemberton and Garcia Parra went deep for Boston. So the Orioles remain out in front of Seattle as well as Chicago in the battle for the wild card in the American League. It is a game-and-a-half advantage on Seattle. Chicago has lost to Kansas City 8-2 to fall to 2.5 behind Baltimore. The winning pitcher Kevin Appier for Kansas City is 14-11. Tapani, the loser, is 13-10. McFarland and Paquette had home runs for Kansas City. And Minnesota loses at Cleveland 6-3, so the Brewers, despite losing 2 games today, lose only a half game to the Twins in the battle for 3rd in the Central. The Brewers remain 1 game in front of Minnesota. Nagy, the winner, he went the distance. He's 17-5. Robertson, the loser, he is 7-17. Back to recap today's action in New York after this on the Brewers Radio Network.
If you've been to a Shell station lately, you might have noticed a few paw prints around. Not familiar prints, but don't worry, they're just books from the Jane Goodall collection. There are 8 books in all, and at only $1.29 a piece with an 8-gallon minimum fill-up. For every book you buy, Shell will make a donation to the Jane Goodall Institute for Wildlife. They'll even give you a free case to keep your books in. So stop by Pump House in Amigo or Wagner Shell in Wittenberg and take home something wild.
You're hanging on to the safety bar of the hairiest roller coaster in the world. You climb to the edge of heaven and look down at empty space. Then your car falls over the edge and begins to pick up speed. You drop like a rock for 10 terrifying seconds till you hit sea level again. Riding the Python at Palisades Park. It's almost as breathtaking as a visit to Lake of the Torches. The new Lake of the Torches Resort Casino offers all the kick of Vegas-style gaming in a premier resort setting. We have 6 different ways to add thrills to your life. There's blackjack, slots, high-stakes bingo, and pull tabs, plus video keno and video poker, all going 24 hours a day, all on the shores of Pokegama Lake, where you can spend the night. Sure, you could hang glide off the Andes, but why not go for some real thrills? The new Lake of the Torches Resort Casino. It's the wildest ride around. In Lac de Flambeau on Highway 47. For more information, call 1-800-25-TORCH.
Hey, there's a new player in town with an all-pro arm. It's Big Bubba. Bring a football frenzy to Oneida Bingo and Casino. Your ticket to Football Frenzy, a free slot full coupon. Play Bubba. Line up the game day symbols, win a $5 match play coupon, and entry for Green Bay game day prize packages. Home game tickets, reserved parking, game day party and buffet, gaming coupons. Play Bubba. Enter the Super Sunday prize package drawing. It's Football Frenzy. Contest rules available at Oneida Bingo and Casino.
Once upon a time, you could go
Day and night for Brewers players, managers, coaches, and of course the fans. The loser in the opener, 19-2. Milwaukee then lost the nightcap 6-2. In Game 1, it was all over very early. The Yankees batted around in the first inning, scoring 4 times on 2 hits and 1 costly error. The big blow, a 3-run homer by Tino Martinez. And then in inning number 2, the Yanks sent 15 batters to the plate against Tim Van Egmond and Ramon Garcia and scored 10 times on 10 hits. It was 14-1 at the end of 2 innings. And the Yankees coasted home with a 19-2 win. Most runs for a New York team since August 19th of 1962. David Cone, the winner, is 7-2. Tim Van Egmond allowed 8 runs in 1 1/3 innings. To take the loss, he is 3-5. Game 2 saw the Brewers score an unearned run in the first inning to grab a 1-0 lead on an RBI by John Jaha, but back came New York with 2 in the bottom half, and then 3 more in the third. The big blow, a 2-run homer by Darryl Strawberry, and New York coasts on to the 6-2 win. Rogers, the winner in the nightcap, he's 12-8. Carl, the loser, he is 13-9. This game recap brought to you by Bergstrom Automotive, Wisconsin's largest automotive group, with 22 locations throughout the state to serve you. Back to wrap things up in New York in just a moment, here on the Brewers Radio Network.
Not too long ago, the telephone was a simple thing to use. You picked up the receiver, dialed your number, the other person answered, and that was that. These days, you got your call waiting, call tracing, call forwarding, call screening, and call return. You can even call someone from your car. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with it all. That's why when I need service work, I call on Parsons of Antigo. They employ GM-certified technicians who understand all the technical buttons and clicks of service. Plus, you can get an oil change, filter, lube, and car wash for only $19.95. And they're open till 7:30 on Wednesdays for your added convenience. By the way, did I say that they use genuine GM parts for a perfect fit? So don't get hung up on service. See Parsons of Antigo, Highway 45 North. Honk your horn and come on in. Plain and simple, you'll be the receiver of good, reliable service.
We are here to entertain you. There's excitement in the air. You can feel it. So many good times to share. You can see it. Action and excitement are coming through. So much more for you. Let us entertain you. Casinos, we are here to entertain you.
Do you know the dealer that offers the area's largest Ford vehicle inventory, indoor shopping and display of any unit on the lot, same-day delivery, pickup and delivery for service, free wash and vac on all service vehicles, $15.99 oil and filter specials year-round, and has been recognized as a distinguished award winner for customer satisfaction? Give up? It's your regional value leader, of course, Northwood's Ford Lincoln Mercury in Rhinelander, and they offer so much more. Come visit their new dealership and see why they become the regional value leader. Northwood's Ford Lincoln Mercury, Highway 47 and K Rhinelander, your regional value leader.
Midwest Express would like to bring you the game's best. The MVPs of the two games today, Tino Martinez of Game 1. He had a total of 3 hits and 5 RBIs, including a big 3-run homer to get things going in the first inning. And in Game 2, Darryl Strawberry had hits his first 2 times up, including a 2-run homer. He scored a couple of times, and Strawberry is our MVP of Game 2. And in those players' names, Midwest Express will donate $50 apiece, $100 total, to the Child Abuse Prevention Fund, the CAP Fund. Midwest Express Airlines, the best care in the air. Updates on the big league scoreboard. San Francisco still leading Los Angeles 1-0. They go to the 3rd inning now at L.A. And Colorado has tied that game with San Diego. It's 1 apiece now, with the Rockies still batting in the top of the 3rd. Big game for the Padres. They can pick up a full game on Montreal in the battle for the wild card. And, of course, San Diego still has hopes of catching Los Angeles in the West. They're a game and a half behind entering play tonight. Well, that just about wraps it up for today. A reminder, our next broadcast coming up on Friday. A day off tomorrow for the Brewers. So next up is Friday night, 5:30, the airtime for the On Deck Show. Game time is 6 o'clock. The Brewers open up a 3-game set at Detroit. Ben McDonald will take the mound for the Brewers in his final start of 96. Todd Van Poppel will pitch for Detroit. Thanks to our producer, engineer Kent Sommerfeld. And for Bob Uecker, this is Jim Powell saying thank you for listening and goodbye from Yankee Stadium. Once again, the final scores tonight: New York 19 and Milwaukee 2 in the opener, and it was the Yankees 6 and the Brewers 2 in the nightcap. You've been listening to the Brewers Radio Network.
You've been listening to Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Northern Wisconsin Sports Connection, 105.3 FM WRLO. Today's game's been a service of Antigo Yamaha, the Garden of Eden in Rhinelander, Raleigh and Helens in Minocqua, Parsons of Antigo Service Department, Lake of the Torches Casino in Lac de Flambeau, Parsons Chevrolet Buick Geo Cadillac Oldsmobile in Antigo, Cops Food Center on Antigo's north side, the Cutlass Motor Lodge in Antigo, Quick Wash in Antigo, McCormick Classic Insurance in Antigo, Ryden's Hazelhurst Marine, Drager Propane, Tomahawk Heavy Duty Truck Repair, Irv Sales and Service, and the Red Wing Trading Post.